Interesting. Is it working? Says it's live, but I don't see it. Where are you streaming? Oh, there it is. Huh. Hello. Where are you streaming? I'm still trying to figure out the kinks here. It's been a long time since I streamed. I couldn't even figure out where it was streaming at. I was just like, it says it's recording, it says it's streaming, but where is it? I can't find it. Boop. Now I gotta let everybody know that I am trying to stream. Tweet. Boop. Okay, so this chat does work. That's good. Can I do my cheat? Make it bigger? No. That no work. So OBS has changed the last time that I used it. It actually has a little separate chat that pops up from the chat that's on YouTube. And normally I would actually disconnect my chat from YouTube and bring it to a separate window and then plus it a whole bunch because I have a hard time reading at a distance. And yeah, I'm bad. I'm not wearing my glasses. I need to update my prescription at some point. So this chat that's on OBS doesn't work for me. I cannot do that, so I'm just going to get rid of that. Okay. And I'll just disconnect my pop-out chat. Yeah! Big letters. Big letters I can read. Thank you. Yes, yes. I can read this. Over there. Boop. Normally I have 2 cameras set up, but I let my boyfriend borrow a lot of my recording equipment. So otherwise I'll be using my wireless lav mic, and I would have a separate camera set up kind of behind me facing more on the Trico. But he has my tripod and he has my extension USB cord, so I just got the one set up. But that's okay, I'm not doing anything super crazy today. It's more like a practice stream and just kind of getting the hang of things again. God, I think it's been like... Chicken Project was the last one I did a stream on. I think that was almost 2 years ago. So yes, please let me know if my volume of my voice is good and make sure that the music isn't too loud. I can make adjustments on those. I know there's going to be a tiny bit of lag between what I'm saying and what's going up on the stream. My internet is better than it was, but it's definitely not excellent. I mean, I'm out in the boonies, so I'm still doing tower internet. There is no hard connect internet in my area yet. So I think it's like a 3-minute lag. So I do apologize. It takes a little bit for me to get back to you guys in the chat. Just give me a little bit of time because it is lagging. Let my friend know that I am streaming. Five, 525. Why is it not working now? If anybody has any questions at any point, just let me know. I'm kind of starting in the middle of this project. It's been going on for about a year now. Hello, fellow Snip. Load! Thank you. Sorry, right in the middle of working with a transaction with somebody while I was trying to get all this stuff set up, so like, trying to multitask. It kind of is working, kind of not working. Doop, 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 doop. Oh my goodness, this website on my phone is so laggy. I will start music here in a minute. Hello, Kai. It's been a while. Also, if anybody who's on this channel, if they have recommendations for other streaming services, like, I mostly only know of YouTube right now. I mean, I've heard of streams like Twitch and Picarto and stuff like that, but I don't know if those would be good streaming services for what I tend to video. But if anybody doesn't like YouTube, please let me know. Again, it's the only thing that I'm really familiar with, and it's the only streaming source that I still have like connections to my my viewers from, you know, years ago, essentially, that they can actually get notifications that I'm doing a stream. I don't know if Twitter is the main source of people coming to my streams, or it's actually notifications through YouTube. I know it's like a whole new thing where you have to like ring the bell and stuff like that. You have to subscribe to somebody in order to get notifications. I don't know the ins and outs of YouTube anymore. It's gone under a lot of changes. Okay, I think I did the thing that they wanted me to do. Boop, boop. Were you just cleaning it, like getting the dust out of it, or were you like replacing parts on your PC? Because my PC just had to go through a huge revamping in December. It was a lot of money. I basically just bought a new computer, but for maybe half the price of a brand new one, because I still have my screens and stuff, but I had to replace like all the guts. Like almost all the guts had to be replaced. I mean, this is my original PC from when I moved down to Texas, so I mean, this is from 2011, and it's only had a freaking, I'm not a computer person, gaming card, movie card, video card. I had a video card replaced back in 2015 or 16, but everything had to be replaced. So it's another reason why I haven't been doing any streaming or recording, because I had a big lag of time. It was almost like 7 months. I couldn't do recording or anything. My computer just kept crashing on me when I was trying to do recordings and editing on my what's the name of this? My Lightworks program. So I kind of gave up on it. That's another reason why there hasn't been any tutorials or anything like that uploaded, because I just got burnt out from trying and then having to redo things and constantly having to fix things because my computer is just being stupid. Oh, yeah, it sounds like you're running the exact problem that I was running into. Eee. Okay, got that done. I more so wanted to get this stream up just to make sure everything was working good before I start working, you know? So I do apologize, it's a little boring in the beginning. This is me making sure that the volume's working, the mic is working, you guys can see me, there's no lag or anything. If there is, please let me know, and I will try to make some edits. I think right now I have it on medium lag or something like that, and that's a reason why there's a slight delay to help reduce, like, I guess, like clipping or it kind of like dropping signal or something. There's one thing I did edit with this is when I do play music, I have it actually streaming through my computer. It's still going to pick up a little bit on the mic, but before when I didn't have that, like you couldn't hear the music, you just heard bass. I also have my bass box because it's on my table flipped upwards, so it's not like projecting this way and going boom into the mic. So we'll just see how that goes. We're going to go ahead and start playing some music. Start getting into the groove. And hopefully everything still works out good. It looks like the chat's working fine, so that's good. Might just go ahead and minimize my YouTube screen, just so my computer can calm down. But it's working pretty good. It's not overheating or anything. It seems to be handling everything pretty good. This is my first time streaming since I got all the guts replaced on my tower, so let's see how this goes. I'm optimistic, but I'm scared at the same time. And maybe at some point my boyfriend will join in. He's taking a little bit of a nap. He was out late with his friends, having a birthday party. Okay, refresher caffeine. So how's everybody's weekend going? Anybody else absolutely melting from the heat in their area? Because holy crap, it is ridiculously hot here right now. Like, I can't even stand to be outside in the middle of the day anymore. Like, I think today it's 104 outside with a real feel of like 112. No, it was 95 degrees earlier today with a real feel of 104, and that's not even the highest temperature, so I think it's going to end up being the real feel of 111 to 115. And it's only July. Like, normally it doesn't get this hot until August, but this year it started in June. Like, Jesus. I might move states because I can't handle this. Oh, you're so lucky. I saw a storm forming north of us and it was coming south and I was so excited. I'm like, give it to me, please. Almighty storm. And no, it totally went like west and missed me completely. I could feel the moisture in the air. It was raining somewhere, just not where I was. I really need the rain. I've got livestock that need grass, and the grass is all turning yellow, and I'm trying to water it, but it's just not enough. I need like a torrential downpour for 3 days for it to actually water it properly. Yeah. In case you didn't know, I grew up from the Northeast, up in New Hampshire, so I'm used to hard winters and very mild summers. And I moved to Texas because that's where my friend moved. I started a business down here and now I'm stuck. Which I guess if I was doing the art life and staying inside all the time, it wouldn't matter so much. But I started a little farm because I love pain. Okie dokie. So I did start gluing this guy. He's got some of his fur and his chin all glued down. It's not like cleanly done yet, but this is all glued down. None of this is glued. Ears are glued. I haven't done one of these in so long. I'm like, I'm not even sure where to start. Honestly, I don't know where to start. I think I started lifting this up and gluing here first. Gluing those knobs and stuff, and then I worked forward. I think that's what I did last time. I did something a little different with this guy. I actually added Ava foam to his eyebrow areas where I'm going to add whiskers. Hoping that'd be a little bit easier to attach them, because normally I would stab a needle into foam and then open it up and then put the whisker in there, pull the fur away, and then super glue it, and then pinch the fur around it, and that like makes the whiskers stay. But when you're doing that in plastic, you have to drill it, and the last time I did that in a Trico, I almost got the fur ripped out in a couple places, because you have to try to pull the fur away, but you're using a spinning device, so it grabs it and twists it up. So I thought ahead of time about putting Ava foam in there, and I can just do my stab method, so fingers crossed it works this time. Me trying to think ahead on previous mess-ups. Move these, and then I can get up in here. You know what? I'm gonna switch my nozzles. I got this really awesome new hot glue gun, and it has the mega nozzle. And I'm gonna try this out. See if that helps me get up in there. Mega nozzle. This was one of my birthday presents. It was on my Amazon wish list. I was like, I really want another really nice hot glue gun that has multi-nozzles, so I can choose how I want to glue something. And I've had this thing heating up for a bit, so it's very hot. Your nozzle on there. See how this goes. Quite honestly, I really missed going to conventions. The pandemic, you know, it's for the safety of everybody to not go and have things canceled, but going to cons is a huge inspirer for me. Like, going and seeing all the new costumes and then talking to fellow artists about different building techniques and what they're working on, what they're enthusiastic about, like, it gets me so pumped. I want to make things. And I haven't had that for like a couple years now, so it's been really difficult to work on art projects. Like, a build like this should only have taken me maximum 3 months of still working a full-time job. I'm going on a full year at this point with this project. It's just been so hard to sit down and work on art. Yeah, this is number 3. But this will probably be one of the last Tricos I make for a while. I'm getting a little bit burnt out on them, because I made Inu's Hero Trico, and then I made my Defender Evil Trico, and then this is another Hero Trico. Each one's slightly different. This one doesn't have any mechanics in it. Still have the moving jaw, still has the glowing LED horns, but it does not have LED eyes. I haven't seen the eyes in so long, I can't even remember if I did the reflection eyes or not. I had to take them off to find out. I don't remember if I did. But yeah, I'm going to be taking a break for a bit, because the Tricos are like the chicken project. It requires a lot of fine details and a lot of painting. Like, this whole beak is just black right now, but I'm going to have to do a lot of layered hand painting on it. It looks really awesome in the end, it's a lot of work. So, I'm gonna wait for this hot glue gun nozzle to heat up a bit, because it is so long, it's gonna end up cooling the hot glue. Oh, it's exciting now. Just look at that. Oh my god. It's exciting. I like tools. I do apologize for my little drainage. The allergen content outside is pretty high right now, even though everything's dead. Doesn't make any sense. I would love the 76 and the 85s, please. I hope less burnt fingers, but this is also a super high-powered hot glue gun. This one goes from 140 up to 220 degrees. I have it at 180 right now. I would say burn levels are at a high possibility for this guy. I put this little thing back on just to reduce the chances of burning. So I'm gonna shoot somebody. Okay, I need to stop procrastinating and just jump into this thing. I am putting it off. I think we'll end up. This has got zip on it, right? Yes, it does. I think I'll start here forward, and then after I get the face all glued down, then I will glue here backwards from the back hood area. So I can take it off the mannequin and I can get back there a lot easier. I'm rusty! Like, I'm glad I helped my boyfriend with the circle head that we did recently. I think it's also helped me get back in the groove of working on stuff again. That's relatively a simple build compared to this. Alright, now I'm just gluing around a little knobble right here. Pouring the fur forward, so I want to make sure I have enough fur. So when it's time, start squishing around. The page and nothing's left except your name. I'll repeat the words you told. You say it's gonna be a good day. But yeah, this Trico I took because I desperately needed money to cover some of my bills last year. So I ended up selling a Trico head that I had worked on many years ago. I would say it was like 5 years ago, when I was testing out new methods of making eyes. And it was so good that I ended up just attaching it to another Trico and just didn't use it. So I sold that one as ready to go, and then somebody else approached me and really wanted to finish one. And I wasn't planning to take on anything because I had some other older projects I really wanted to get done, but I really needed the money, so I took it. And I was like, well, it shouldn't take me that long to do. But it has, and you know, I've been keeping them updated. And I've even offered a refund just because I hate making my customers wait. But everybody who hires me is super awesome. So they're very patient people. I love them, and at the same time, I worry for them. I'm not going to skip them any money or anything like that. Like I said, I offered to give them a refund, but I hate making people wait. I hate it. I know because I would be very impatient about it. But I understand things take time and shit happens. Okay, more knobbles now. Some down, or glue down. I'm going to increase the temperature because this is actually not coming out as liquidy as I want. On 200. Because I think it is cooling. I think this longer nozzle is cooling the glue. It's definitely not coming out as easily as it should. I need it to come out in large amounts. Cover big surface areas. Reading the chat right now, so that's why I'm staring at the screen. Congrats on being guest of honor. I just saw that on the website. I think it's for MFF, right? Newest trick that I'm comfy with sharing that I've learned about suit making. I really haven't done anything crazy lately, so I'm trying to think of something. I guess the chicken project would probably be the one that I experimented a lot on. I ended up finding out that Ava foam's awesome. Using foam clay to blend Ava foam. So you use the Ava foam to build something, right? You can heat form it, change its shape. You can Dremel it, sand it, and put shapes into it. But using foam clay, which bonds to Ava foam, is a great way to do organic kind of transitions, to say, kind of like what skin would do. So I ended up using that. The comb of the chicken was kind of flat, right? So I ended up using that to kind of build up the sides and have really nice transitions between the points of the comb. I used it a lot on the face in order to do like transitional wrinkles and stuff like that. Also, don't underestimate the power of puffy paint. A lot of people are like, oh, it's a really cheap building material. Don't think of anything as being cheap. Don't think of anything as its original purpose. Puffy paint is originally used for doing like t-shirts and stuff like that. It is a great medium for doing texture. I experimented in trying to do texture of hot glue. I experimented with texture trying to do like globs of paint, but puffy paint is like the perfect... What to say? There's a puffy version of puffy paint and there's a slick version of puffy paint. The puffy version stays very 3D, it kind of expands a bit. The slick version tends to kind of settle back down again and like meld in, and that works great for doing like spotted texture. So all the texture that's on the comb of the chicken is puffy paint. And of course after that I sealed it with oh, what was that? I always call it the wrong thing. It's not tool dip anymore. It's called like rubber spray or something like that, or I don't know what it's called. Plastic dip, I think, maybe. But I used that to coat all the foam. And then I painted it with acrylics, and then I coated all of that with Mod Podge. I tried using this stuff, which is great for cosplay, or doing armor and stuff like that. I'm waiting for the hot glue gun to heat up, by the way. That's also why I'm kind of stalling for time. This is usually really good as a medium. Like, I use this for inside, like, the mouth of the Tricos and stuff. This is actually Ava foam in here, and I've, like, sanded and blended it with the, I didn't use the, foam clay. There's this other stuff that I get from TNT Cosplay, and it's like liquid Ava foam. It's got a filler and it's got a finisher, and the filler's thicker and it works good for filling in gaps and then sanding it. Again, it bonds. You just paint it on and let it glob on there. It does shrink a little bit, so you gotta have to do a couple layers. And then the finisher is a very liquidy version of Ava foam, and it's used for putting down to sand things nice and smooth. So I do that for the Trico heads, and that's the Trico mouths, and that's why they're so organic. But then I use Flex Bond for painting them, and then for sealing them. And it worked great for this. But for some reason with the chicken, I don't know why, if it was maybe because of the plasti dip I used or something, but it was very water sensitive. Like when I use this, if I try to use water to wipe off the layers and stuff like that, the acrylic, it got wet. It's got squishy again and tacky, and I don't know why. I've never had problems with inside the mouths of the Trico, which you have the humidity of your, you know, mouth the whole time, because you're breathing through that area. It never gets wet, so I ended up having to use Mod Podge Flex and use that to seal the chicken head, and then it was good. So I had to do a lot of experimentation of doing organic flesh for the chicken. There are still things I would edit and change. I'd probably actually make the whole thing out of silicone next time, but I haven't really painted silicone before, so I didn't trust in my ability to get a realistic like layering of color. So it's kind of the reason I went that route. I told Curlworks, since they're one to commission me for it, at any point in the future, they want me to kind of like redo the chicken, take the cowl off, and then kind of redo the face and do it in silicone. I can do that, but I need to experiment first, and I didn't want them waiting any longer. And it still turned out beautiful, it's just they can't be as like rough with it, I guess you could say. They have to be like more careful about, you know, it's the face getting scratched or something like that, or getting dented. I mean, you can use a heat gun or a hair dryer to kind of like squish it back up again, just the way this stuff works. But it was very much an experimentation. Also, if the camera focus is bothering you guys, I can take that off, but let me know. I know it'll do that if I get too close and I back up and stuff, and it's kind of focusing itself. Yeah, plasti dip. You're taking notes. I mean, I've learned a lot of things over the years, more so from trial and error, and a lot of error, and a lot of trying. Everybody's like, oh, you're just so good at everything. I'm like, I mess up all the time. Like, oh my god. And this is even talking about finished costumes. Like, the shop, right? You guys all know we do plastic, silicone, and rubber parts, right? In order for me to have learned what I learned as far as doing those parts and experimenting with new materials, I've had to do a lot of trial and error. I can't tell you how many different products we've gone through and end up finding out they're not going to work out. Yeah, it's been a lot. And put it this way, if at any point we have a problem with material and I contact Reynolds Advanced Materials, or I contact Specialty Resin, I say I'm having an issue of curing on this material, they don't question me anymore as to whether or not I fucked up. Because I've gone through so much trial and error of each of these materials, when I know it's a batch issue where there's something not curing correctly, it's not because of the environment, it's not because of my mold, it's not because of my mixing, because I've already gone through the process of checking all that before I contact the company to say I have a problem. And then I end up finding out through multiple pieces or multiple parts that are all from the same lot, which means they're all made from the same batch, so there's something wrong with that batch material. They let me return it and get replacement product or get a refund, because I tried to knock out all of the possibilities of it being environmental or user error. So to make sure that it's not a situation where I'm going after the company because of something I'm doing wrong. It's actually something wrong with the product. And I'm still experimenting. There's still new materials I want to try out and stuff. And I do like challenges, but at the same time, I definitely don't have the kind of free time that I used to like 5 or 10 years ago, you know? So it's more so of a case of trying to push myself, have a schedule to work on stuff and get back in the groove. Streaming, for example, is a really good way for me to kind of stay, you know, I'm sitting here chatting for like 15 minutes. It's a good way for me to stay focused on a project, not be like, oh, I gotta clean that litter box, or oh, I gotta sweep the floor, or oh, I gotta go check the water on the chickens or something, or oh, I gotta work on this project outside, or oh, I gotta mow the lawn, you know. Anytime it's a weekend, it's the only time I get to really work on everything on my house and home, so it's like I get heavily distracted, like I gotta work on that, this, that. But my boyfriend's helped me actually start prioritizing, writing down lists of what's most important to get done and what's least important to get done, and it's really helped because over the years I've just gotten so combobbled over everything I gotta do that I get stuff for a project and then it just sits there because I just get distracted with something else. I don't get to work on it when I want to work on it, and that's kind of how I function. I need to be able to work on something when I'm inspired to do it, because if I don't, then I end up putting it off, and then it becomes a big pressure and a big stress, and it's hard for me to get into doing it. Oh god, the white tiger's so old. Oh god, that's before I moved down to Texas. That's 15 years old. That's how long ago it was I did the White Tiger project. Oh my gosh. Oh, let me tell you, Anthrocon was just a reminder of how many years have gone by of things, because it was just like, oh my god, I haven't seen you for 8 years, or oh, you haven't done something for this long, or I haven't seen you for 4 years. I'm just like, oh, so many big numbers. Oh, awesome. I've seen a lot of people doing some cool stuff with those dino masks. I don't know if you've seen it yet, but Bakari-Ru actually did a video not too long ago, actually completely furring over a dino mask, not even leaving the front. Like, they padded it up and completely put fur all the way to the tip of the nose. And it turned out really good. Like, I'm actually happy those dino masks are available for kids and get them into, like, fursuiting and costuming in general, and it looks really good, you know? You got the moving jaw and everything like that. They're kind of, I mean, for what they are, they're really well built for kids, and they're durable. If it was a Flex Foam 5 in general, that's what most people use for their fursuit heads, it's very temperamental. I actually don't use it at all. I go from 3 and I skip to 6 because I'm just tired of Flex Foam 5 just being so damn temperamental. Even 4, we used to use that for our bigger size ears. It was also really hard to get it to work correctly. Like, it didn't... Most of the time I get this like crusty crystallization to it, or if it was expanding, it would get lots of pockets of holes no matter how we tried to mix it. So we gave up on it. So it's like 3, 6, 10, 14, 17, and 25 are the ones that we'd like to use. I get con crunch syndrome. So I'll put off working on something and then I'll decide like last minute I want to work on it, or I'll be like, oh, it's only a week or 2 weeks away, and I realize, oh, I want to make this fix on my suit or something like that, and oh, I forgot there was a repair needs to be done on it. And I'll tend to put that in like right before the con, but that's the time I'm motivated to do it. Like, if I have a deadline, I'm more motivated to work on something than not. Okay, are you melting yet? Yeah, I guess you're melting. And I'm not sure if this nozzle thingy is the yeah, that works. Okay, it has a little cloggy glob. Maybe. I'm not too optimistic that MFF is going to even really happen at this point, because it's only 4 months away and they still have yet to do hotel announcements or dealer announcements or even like signing up for it. I mean, that's really last minute. Like, we space out our cons, so we go to a con every 4 months. So we have AnthroCon, MFF, and Texas Prairie Fiesta. So that's July, December, and March. And we now do a thing where we literally do con stock every Friday for every week for every month. As soon as the con stops, we start doing con stock again. Because what we used to do is we used to prepare only like about 3 weeks ahead of time, and we'd only spend like a full day each week. And like for AnthroCon, we barely had any flex foam stock. Like, our flex foam caster was so busy with molds because we have had so many skull orders come in that he didn't have the time to do it. And I was so busy working on casting resin heads, I didn't have time to do flex foam. So we ended up running into a situation where we are short-handed doing our stock. So we're trying to work out the kinks. We're technically still short-handed one person. So we're one person down of being able to optimize our flow of getting orders out and being able to create new content and being able to make new molds and stuff, and keep up with it. So it's been kind of difficult to shop. We're getting through it, but it's been a stress for trying to get con inventory done. So we are going to apply for MFF if they open, but if not, I'm just gonna go for fun, because I haven't been to a fun con in a long time, and I really just want to get out and suit with people and just talk. Like, I miss doing that. I made one Godzilla suit. I made one Godzilla suit in, God, 4 weeks, maybe. And I was finishing that for a skit for my friends who are up in the Northeast. I was in Texas at the time, so I had to get that costume all done. Not for me, is for one of my friends that was going to dress up as the character. And I was literally working until Friday on getting that thing done for the con. My boyfriend keeps bringing up that I might have ADHD because it's the way that I function. And that really sucks, because I used to be a super, it's not a situation I'm not productive. It's just my productivity kind of scatters all over the place. And if I get a chance to just kind of sit there and focus on things, I can get stuff done. Like, I got my lattice work done for this like little divider section in my room. I wasn't even a plan for yesterday. I was going to work on the watering system for my goats. But then my cat jumped into my craft space and she was stuck in here. And I'm like, no, not again! Because what she does, she jumps on my tower, which is up on a shelf here on the wall. And I don't want her to, like, destroy my tower, you know? She's so bad with being in this room. Like, she likes to get into my polyfill bag. She likes to munch all of my duct tape patterns. Like, she's obsessed with plastic and tape. So that's why I don't want her in here. That's what this wall is behind me. I actually completely, like, block off this area to keep my cats out unless I'm in here. If I'm in here, they can be in here. If I am not in here, they are not allowed. Because I don't want them chewing on my shit. Yeah, it's hard nowadays to try to get things done and to have those crunches, especially if you have a customer that's constantly pestering you about it and they just don't understand that shit happens, you know? Nothing is stable anymore. yeah, I would say if anything, work on stock now and just kind of prepare for if it does happen. And if not, then you've got stock for your next con. Or you can have a sale online, you know, sell things online. It's not going to hurt you terribly to work on some stock in between doing your commissions. Just as long as you, like, time it appropriately. But yeah, I love TFF and I love Anthrocon. Their staff is freaking amazing when it comes to organizing panels and taking care of, you know, your attendees, and especially taking care of dealers and artists. Like, they go above and beyond to make sure you've got all the information and everything straightened out and get everything done only a few months after the last con ended. So you've got like almost a whole year to prepare if you've got a table and to get stock and stuff like that. MFF, they've dropped the ball for the last decade that I've been trying to go there. Like, why would you open up hotel rooms before you have designated, like, essentially designated your guests of honor and designated your music staff, designated, you know, your artists and your dealers before they even know if they're going? Like, you have to know if you're going before you go to actually get a hotel room, because otherwise you're getting like a deduction if your stay at a hotel. You don't even know if you're going to be going to the con. It's like, it makes no sense, and everybody's been yelling at them for years to change this pattern. They're like, no, we're going to do it this way. I'm like, you're doing it ass backwards from everybody else out there. Why? You have to live in Texas. You have to be in this heat. Okay. I'm going to stop chatting and actually get some work done. Okay. Don't worry, I'll peep in at the chat every once in a while and see what's going on. So I try to get some gluing done. Because now it is molten and it is dangerous. Danger glue. I can feel the heat through the fur, by the way. Just kind of mushing it around the little horn knobs. That's where I got the glue all focused. And behind the brows. I'm also using our Duratac hot glue that we ordered from gluesticks.com, which is amazing hot glue. I highly recommend it. This stuff bonds the plastics and metals and woods like you would not believe. It's just a regular high temperature hot glue stick, but the components in it is like, it's better than that than the Gorilla glue sticks, which are really, really good as far as local fine glue sticks. I ended up doing some experimenting a couple years ago on all a bunch of different kinds of brands of glue sticks that you can buy locally and seeing how they compare to the Duratac, and there's nothing as good as Duratac. Basically, I am. I am giving it a facelift. I'm also giving him a temple massage. He's a little stressed out. He needs to calm down. You know, just some little scritchies.
A slap to your side, a push on my foolish pride.
Nothing about resin not sealing over alcohol inks. I tried painting scales, but the ink under the resin layer just completely distorted and looks awful after they're sealed. They appear to get worse after being exposed to sunlight. Resin not sealing over alcohol inks? Are your you say you're painting scales? I thought your scales were metal. Or are they I know you got some ones that are for the clear plastic. The thing is, I'm not really familiar with alcohol inks. I've never really used them. I mean, I honestly don't even know what the dyes are that I use for resin, what they are consisting of. I know alcohol inks will cause some weird shit with doing resin casting. Like, I know a lot of people use that in order to create like really cool geode effects, because it makes the like does a weird kind of spreading out thing. And I only know that because I watch Evan and Caitlin and I love their channel. I love all the crazy shenanigans with resin. I really need to get their shirt that says resin time. And also tri-fail. Let me put it on my wish list. Someday I'll have that. What about using what is it called? It's like stained window paint. I think it's still an acrylic, but it's very, very translucent. Maybe that would be a better option because it won't have as high of a chance of causing weird curing issues. So you're talking about painting on the scales, right? Not our resin claws? Because I don't know what the scales are made out of. But I'm guessing that they're made out of a thermoform sheet plastic. Or if they're an injection mold type thing. Or if they're 3D printed, I don't know. Acrylic sealer just chips right off because it wouldn't stick and seal to the edges. Have you thought about nail polish gloss by chance? Because that might work. Also, I want to say thank you guys all so much for attending the stream. I know it's been a ridiculously long time since I've done a stream or even uploaded any videos to my YouTube page, so thank you. I see a lot of very familiar names. It makes me very happy. I'll try not to cry. No guarantees. I would say either that or try getting some UV cure resin and seeing you can put that on as a top coat for it, because that stuff can be pretty durable too, from what I've seen. I really want to get some. I want to get some UV resin to play around with and see what I can do with it. I just went and glued this whole cheek. The thing is, I really don't have that many materials as far as doing painting and sealing on stuff. Like, I use Krylon gloss and matte spray for sealing my paint jobs on fursuit stuff. One thing I was curious to try at some point is actually automotive gloss. But the thing is, a lot of those are enamels, and they actually have a special punch in them that makes the mixture, so you can't reuse them after. It's like a one-time thing. You can't reuse them afterwards. I know Riley and I did a lot of experimenting with different glosses for her motorcycle paint job. So I have a lot of those left over if you wanted me to try a couple aerosols. But that's one thing I've never been amazing at, is getting a really good, like, gloss coat without having, like, pitting and other kinds of problems with it. It's always been the bane of my existence. Like, trying to do that on claws and stuff like that, it's, like, near impossible. Okay, this side is done. Look at that pretty baby. And this is just like this section of the face is glued right here. So I gotta do the same thing on this side. I've got up here glued, and I'm gonna work on getting the brow, this little section here, and the cheek. And then I'm going to take this whole thing off, and I'm gonna start gluing here back down to the resin base. Did you ask her what process she used for hers? I know she got a little burnt out from Anthrocon. I saw her posting she's going to take a mental break from scale work for a bit. I didn't even get a chance to even say hi to her this year at Anthrocon. I went past her table a couple times, but she was so busy, and then I was so busy. Well, I mean, like I said, you can try out that UV Cure resin. You have to get really high-powered UV light for them, and see if that helps. I mean, that stuff cures rock hard. Like, it's good. It doesn't have any time to react to things, you know? And, like, I used not a resin, but I used a UV Cure glue in order to attach photo paper on the back of resin eyes. I would say that would be a good point of fursuit building, that it's not a secret, but something I definitely would recommend anybody who does resin eyes and wants to do a photo printed eye, get UV Cure glue. Because you put that on the photo paper and you squish the resin eye on top of it and you have that high powered light, it cures in seconds. And it does not react to the photo paper, does not melt it. Because I had that problem with experimentation. I tried using E6000, which is what I used to use years ago. The formula has changed, it's not the same anymore. It melted the photo paper, it slid right off. Tried plumbing goop, same problem, same thing. Melted the photo paper, was a horrible mess. But then I looked up this UV Cure resin people were using for little doll eyes and stuff, and I did it for my big giant 2.5 inch eyes, and it worked real good. I used that for the chicken. I'm just not skilled with Photoshop, and I wish I could pick it up, because oh my god, those eyes were so good, and all my friend did was took an image of an actual chicken eye and then cut a slice out of it and duplicated that over and over and over again and blended it, and it's so good. It's so pretty. I wish I could do that. Hello. Welcome to the stream.
I keep telling myself, but I don't wanna let you know. Is this what we become? Strangers.
Where's my BB?
Looking for
I forgot about the chicken. Be right back.
chasing the sun. All those days trying to find a place where you'll make them just be alone, be alone. All those nights lying by your side, like it's a vibe, feeling it shine under your spotlight. Like it's a vibe under your spotlight. That's the way every day goes. Looking back, I know we started falling. We were falling in love, yeah. Took my heart and you rolled off. Was I feeling never enough for you, baby? When you left me chasing you, chasing you. Trying to find a place where we can be alone. All those nights lying by your side, like it's a vibe, feeling it shine under your spotlight. So you won't make them just be alone. Like it's a vibe under your spotlight.
Let me have fun with you, my love. Look at the way you move, I love. Making my knees go loose, so smooth. Like what I see in you. When I'm going mad, let's rendezvous. When I'm feeling bad, when I feel sad, let's rendezvous. 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 Let me have fun with you, my love. Look at the way
Okay, chicken take her up.
I love. Making my knees go loose, so smooth. Like what I see in you.
Personally, I do not like using E6000 on fursuit heads. I have no problem using it on hands or feet, but I do find it still releases a little bit of a vapor after a while. With eyes, it's not so much of a problem because there's usually like a plastic resin plate kind of separating that from you. And also, I mean, those usually like sit out for quite a while before you install them in a head. But again, that was years ago that I used to use that. But nowadays, I prefer using the UV cure resin And then like this Duratac hot glue for like attaching things. Also 2-part epoxy works great. And that cures and doesn't have a stink afterwards. So, because it's like an insta cure, like it cures in like 5 minutes, so it's pretty fast. So Smooth On has a really good insta cure. I think I should call it like insta glue. 2-part epoxy glue that they sell, and that's what we use for attaching all of our hinges for our heads. I like using it for attaching jaw sets in my bases. But as far as thanks, Cammy, we want a lovely shot of your butt. But as far as like the eyes go, I use hot glue. As far as the tongue goes, I use hot glue. So I don't really use E6000 or plumbing goop on my heads. I just use it for hand paws, pretty much. Hand paws, paw pads for attaching those. And then the claws, again, super glue. So, not that again. I think it's called Duratac. So D-U-R-A-T-A-C or K. I can't remember which one it is. But it's the hot glue sticks that we sell online. We buy them in bulk from gluesticks.com. Hopefully it doesn't make my channel lag too much. Glue sticks. Oh boy. The lag is real. Glue sticks. I'm checking right now. Give me a minute. Copy. Paste. Boop. And gives you link. But yeah, we tend to get the large 5/8 inch 10 sticks. So they're like these big fat boys here. But it's used for wood, metals, and plastics. Stuff's really, really good. And of course, you have to have a high temperature hot glue gun. I mean, it's saying, if it says anything, it's saying that the softening point for this is 180 degrees Fahrenheit, and the application temperature is 370. So, for example, my high temperature hot glue gun here only goes up to 220. So I'm not even technically using it optimal heat levels, and I am only using it at the 200 right now, and it still works. But I think the higher temperature is for using on metals and plastics, but not so much for like woods, things with pores. It's the more liquidy you get it, the more it bonds, essentially. But this stuff, we've been using this for years, and it is the best hot glue. I mean, they have many different kinds of hot glue sticks. I have tried their Tough Tack, I have tried their Multi-Temp, I've tried their Acrylolux. I haven't tried the Ultra Tack yet. And they have a couple like new types here. Like there's a lot. There's like 24 different kinds of hot glue sticks that you can buy. But from what I have tried so far, the Duratac has worked the best for what we need it for. Some of these glue sticks are too soft. So you're trying to feed it through the hot glue gun, it squishes. It squishes and dents and stuff like that. So I think that's a problem I had with the Tough Tack when I was trying it, is it's squishy. I think I still have a couple of them. I still have some of them in here. Like, here they are. Like, they're sticking to each other. Like look how floppy that is. Like, it's like super, super soft. And this is I think this is the Tough Tack. And it's just, you trying to feed this through your hot glue gun, when it tries to bite into it to feed it through, it just notches into it and doesn't move. It doesn't move through the hot glue gun. It gets stuck and sticky in there, and it gets it chews off parts of it and it gets clogged in your mechanics of your hot glue gun. So this is the Tough Tack. I do not recommend it. And I still have like, this is my hot glue stick pile. These are just cheap Walmart ones. This is that Tough Tack, and it's just, I have so many glue sticks in here of that I will never use. So I don't know what to do with it. Maybe sell it to somebody, I don't know. I wouldn't want to wish this on anybody though. Trying to sacrifice their hot glue stick, or hot glue gun, for some squishy hot glue sticks. Hey, baby. You have a great nap? Thanks. And you've got a big old red mark on the side of your face. You've got a pillow mark. Yeah. Yeah.
Branding of good.
I took the chicken out of the sink because it's all defrosted and put it in the refrigerator. So it looks like the marmalade will need to be made and put in there, so I will do that afterwards. But I'm currently streaming. Did you use some coffee?
Yes. I was also downloading a video.
I noticed that. I was wondering why it was so slow. I was trying to open OBS, and OBS needed updating. It was just taking forever for it to update. I'm like, why is it taking so long?
Had I known you were
It was a spontaneous decision. I didn't have exactly any planning with it. Like, even the stream itself has not been, like, real intensive work and labor. It's kind of me working all the kinks out. Which I'll probably ask for your help later about the audio. Okay, have to talk. You need it. You're still very much in the daze, I can tell. It's just a hot glue. You don't need UV stuff with that. That's just hot glue. Well, I mean, that's good. You didn't lose your scales. Yeah, as far as the UV cure glue that I use, it's a little bit more caustic in its raw state, so you gotta be careful to wear a respirator and gloves when working with it. But once you cure it with the UV light, it's fine. But I mean, I don't really use it for anything other than putting the photo paper on eyes, which is very far between. Okay, I'm gonna exit out of this web browser so it doesn't cause problems.
Silence fills this empty space, and I can't get out the stain you left on everything. Yeah, you're all over me, but I'm not over you. I'm hurting here, cause I still feel the bruise. I don't wanna do this anymore. If I'm better off without you, then why don't I feel any better? Sticks and stones can't break my bones, but then I can put them back together. Why do I try when I won't change my mind? If I'm better off without you, then why don't I feel
Give me a minute and I'll try to find it, because I can't remember. It's been a long time since I've used it. Do I even have it left? Oh, I have it at work. It's not here. I ended up using it for something at work recently. Trying to fix some flaws. Because I want to say I had a hard time finding it too. I can't even remember how I even came across it in the first place. Like, who recommended it or what. Let's put it this way. Message me on Twitter, and and I will look into it this week when I'm at work because I can't remember where I got it from. I'd have to do a little bit of research, and I don't have capabilities to do that right now while I'm trying to do this.
I've been checking my phone, there's nobody there. So everyone knows that I can't even care unless I'm hearing back from you. If I'm better off without you, then why don't I feel any better? Sticks and stones can't break my bones, but then I can put them back together. Why do I even try when I won't change my mind? If I'm better off without you, then why don't I feel any better? Why don't I feel any better? Any better? Any better?
Quite honestly, I hear coffee and tea works really great for distressing clothes, as well as just using acrylic paint. I highly recommend looking at distressing clothes through cosplay because a lot of people have some really good tips on that. I have not done it myself, but that's what I hear from others. You've distressed clothes? What'd you do?
I filled my bathtub with coffee.
Oh, so it was coffee?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Been there for a couple hours. And I rinsed out.
Okay. Okay.
Came out like a really nice, almost kind of like
Like that color?
that color, yeah. A little white shirt.
Yeah. So my boyfriend did coffee in the bathtub and just left it over a couple hours, and then rinsed it out and then did it again till they got the right color, essentially. The only thing I've ever done is wig dye, or no, it was leather dye for dyeing fur, but I have not, or no, it wasn't fur, it was a wig.
And I drank a whole bathtub.
You did not.
Uh-huh.
No, you did not. That's way too diluted for you to handle. That would have done a thing for you, but make you sick. Yes, this hot glue gun I actually got from Amazon. My boyfriend says I need to start putting like affiliated links of the tools that I use when I'm doing stuff, so I might end up just doing that. But this comes with like a huge pack of tips. Like, it has, this is usually one of my, for the Duratac working. This is the tip I had on there initially, which is a precision flat tip, which is normally what I use, but for this particular case, since it's so tight, I can't get in there with this one. But this is the one I normally use, which is a flat tip. And that came with this hot glue gun. That's the long tip. And it has like, I don't even know what some of these tips are used for. It even has a little screwdriver. Like, why does it even have a little screwdriver? But it has like this crazy like fire hose looking tip. I don't know what that's for. Has this like super thick boy, which I'm guessing will be good for keeping your hot glue hot. This is the original tip that comes on the hot glue gun. It has like a medium precision tip. It was not quite as long as that one. Then you have like a super precision tip, which is really focus. Focus. Okay. Come on, camera. Okay, it doesn't want to focus. Like right there, I guess it's good. But yeah, super precision tip. And then like, they have like 3 different sizes. So it's like, these are the 2 sizes of tips. And the one I have over there is like both of these combined. It's like that long. It's like super long. So you like this, And this one's got the base on it. So that's like the 3 different lengths of precision tips they have. But this all came in one kit. Like, this is all together. And of course it came with some hot glue sticks or quality, so. But pretty nice. So far, it's been a pretty nice hot glue gun. I'm not going to give it full credit yet because I've only used it on 3 projects. So I don't know about the longevity of it, and that's my biggest concern because hot glue guns don't last long with me for some reason, especially ones that have these universal tips. I went with another brand before, and it was really crappy quality. I got it from Hobby Lobby or something like Hobby Lobby or Michaels, and it had all the tips to it. I was like, oh my god, all the tips, that's awesome. But they just would die on me after like 2 years or so, and I've even, you know, I don't craft as much as I used to, and I don't leave my hot glue gun on unless I'm using it. So it's like, I couldn't understand why they were dying. I'm like, I need to go with a different brand. So I ended up looking on Amazon for a couple different ones that had good reviews. And I found this guy, and so far it's been good. So far it's been a very good hot glue gun. I'm loving this extended tip to it though. This really helped with getting all these tight spaces in this Trico head, because it definitely doesn't have as much room to work with as a normal fursuit head does.
Hidden caves or surfing waves into the night on the beaches of Hawaii. Drinks in Ibiza, anywhere you wanna go, baby, you just let me know. Sunny Indonesia, don't say no. Sipping on tequila, anything you wanna see, be there in a heart.
I have never had a hot glue gun explode on me before. I've only had the like mechanics inside, the triggers, just slowly break. So it wasn't feeding the hot glue through as well anymore. I did have one that started having hot glue come out through the sides. That sucks. But yeah, I've never had one explode. I have had a crazy incident in the past. I'm trying to remember the exact case of what happened. I know I had my compressor that was airbrushing, and I think it was a hot glue gun. I can't remember if it was a hot glue gun. It had to have been a hot glue gun. It was either a hot glue gun or it was a heat gun. I'm pretty sure it was a hot glue gun because I think one of my hot glue guns was messing up at the time anyways. And I accidentally touched the tip of the hot glue gun to like one of the metal legs of the air compressor, and it shot lightning out of the hot glue gun onto my compressor, and it killed my compressor. Like, it had a lightning zigzag going up the paintwork and killed my compressor, like my double motor quiet airbrush compressor. I threw the hot glue gun away. I think I was streaming at the time when it happened. I know I was working on a full suit. This is many, many, many years ago. But it was scary. Because it made a very loud pop noise, and of course lightning came out of the tool to the tool.
Please don't get jealous of the things I've done.
Yeah, I've seen that tweet too. Somebody said that their hot glue gun actually exploded. I've been creating since 2002. I've used many brands of hot glue guns. I've never had that happen, so that's just a really crazy freak incident. There is a possibility that they did not have a properly grounded outlet, and something could have happened to cause a power surge, and I can see that being an issue. Anytime I'm working with any of these tools, they have trip outlets to them, and they have circuit protectors. So I don't have a problem with getting like backlash of electricity coming through, because that is definitely something that can happen, especially with old wiring. Like, it's a problem that we've had in our shop where we've had to get a lot of electrical work done in the shop, because I don't know how old that building is, but it is old. Because we get power surges all the time. Whether it's from an outsource or from our tools in the shop, which aren't not that high powered. Like, you know, we've got a large size printer for printing out orders. It causes the power to dim in the office for some reason. We've got an air compressor, which is a little, 2 to 3 gallon drum pancake compressor. It's not super high powered. It'll cause the power to drain. We have that going while like the shop vac's going and the belt sander's going. So it's like, we're hoping at some point to be able to invest in an actual shop we can build, or we can actually make separate rooms for separate chemicals and stuff. Like, I would love to have a separate room for my clear casting and my rubber casting, because it tends to be very fumy, and have the ovens in that room used for post-curing and curing the materials, and then have an additional like vent fan that just vents out all the, you know, all the chemicals. I would also love to have a separate room for flex foam, because flex foam also is pretty caustic when you're doing it in large batches and you have large batches curing. It can cause a lot of fumes, and I would like to have rooms where you can actually have vent fans, where a fan blows across and it has an exit port fan to pull the fumes out from that room. Because right now we have to all wear respirators all day long. It's like, we have a break, we have a lunch break, we have a 15-minute break. It's the only time we don't have respirators on. Like, because that shop is just not built for it. I don't have the airflow. Then again, I feel a lot better about the air quality at my shop compared to paint and body shop, because I went to a paint and body shop for the repairs on the van because that deer hit the van and I have to get a panel fixed so it doesn't rust. And God, I was in the entrance room or the lobby and my eyes were burning from the amount of fumes from spray paints and stuff coming from the shop. It was bad. It was really bad. I'm like, oh God, like how can these guys even stand being in this? Of course, at this point, they're probably numb to it. You know, imagine what it's doing to their brain cells and to their lungs. I only got the peek at the box of glitters. I didn't get a chance to actually unwrap them from the bubble wrap because it's been kind of crazy getting back to the shop since the con. Because we drove back and got back into Texas early Tuesday morning. And then I immediately had to go and unload the trailer and return the trailer. And of course we had to file the insurance because the trailer basically exploded from the inside with that deer hitting it. Like it looked like somebody dumped a bag of mulch all over our product and all over the interior of the trailer. Because that deer hit and just kind of body slapped the front end of the trailer. And apparently the trailer's built where it's got an outside metal panel, it's got an inside metal panel, but between that is like plywood. Like it's some kind of compressed wood board. And it just exploded. So where there was a gap at the top corner of the trailer, it just kind of exploded into the trailer and made a horrible mess. So we had to like brush off all of our boxes. Thankfully we had mostly totes towards the front, so they're pretty sealed. And then I had to sweep out the whole trailer and then drop it off, and then I had to file for it and they weren't happy about it. I'm like, hey, be glad it wasn't worse damage, because it was a buck that hit us. And I did the best I could to dodge it without losing control of the vehicle. That was fun. In my 20 years of renting a U-Haul, I have never had an accident with a trailer. Ever. I've never, in all my years living up in the Northeast and traveling, have ever even hit a deer. So, yeah. In case anybody doesn't know me, I'm a very paranoid driver. I actually watch a lot of accident videos for motorcycling and driving, so I'm super alert whenever I'm on the road. And I saw that buck running across the road, and I did not see him cross the other side of the highway, and I'm like, oh shit, where is he? And the grass was so tall, I couldn't see where he was, and I'm like, oh, where's he going to come out? He's going over there, he's going to come over this way, and he turned, switched back, and he just came right at us. And I'm like, oh, fuck! In the meantime, Kevin and Angie were in the back watching A Knight's Tale, and it also wham! And it got under the tire of the trailer and everything, and it was a disaster. Angie about probably pissed herself. because it was right there. It hit the back window, so it's right there at the passenger seat where they were sitting. Ooh. Goodness, that's quite an incident to have with a hot glue gun. Yeah, I never trust super cheap hot glue guns. At least spend $20 to $30 on one if you can. But yeah, we didn't get home until super early Tuesday, and then basically after I got everything done with, I ended up coming home, unpacking the trailer, checked on my animals, make sure everybody's good, and then we died. Like, I passed out from like noon until 4:30 p.m. I had my alarm set. And then I woke up, we had dinner and stuff, and I did a little bit more unpacking, and then literally went back to bed at like 11. Like, we were exhausted. So I went back to work on Wednesday, so I only had 3 days of work this week. So it was kind of crazy trying to get back into the flow of things, unpacking the boxes and stuff, and fulfilling orders and getting back into the groove. We had to try to get out as much as possible this week for mailing. So that's basically what my goal was on Wednesday when I got back. So I really haven't had a chance to look at stuff, essentially. I've been just trying to get back into grinding into my list because I had 5 weeks list when I got back. That's okay. We ruined his day too. It could have been a lot worse. So I'm happy that the amount of damage was minimal. Okay, so Mr. Fluffles here is glued down. He is not precision glued down, what I like to call it. I'll actually probably switch back to my other nozzle for that, because even though this works great for getting in these like far areas, it does tend to make the hot glue cool down. And of course, I'm not gonna have much precision with such a long nozzle. I like having my flat edge nozzle for doing the finishing up. I don't know. I also got that really, really tiny nozzle I could try out. I feel like it'd be really hard getting this thick hot glue through that. Where are my little curvy scissors? I still have like all my like tools are still kind of scattered because I have a lot of them like prepared.
Every time I come with trouble, know we coming with the right ones. Yeah. 35 can't play, get a bag on ya. Never with the games, put a tag on ya. I ain't getting lit cause my future too bright. Joey hit me up, I said that's just on site. No, it's too nice. No ops, no lights, doing heist that we never hit before, and I'm feeling too white. Gotta roll like a road on. Major difference is the platinum and the gold songs. Whoa, oh, you already know. I can make your life a push star, press go. Say we're off to a good start, let's smoke. Blew the brains off the coupe, baby, explode. Shining on a cloudy day, and it don't matter what you say.
Also, anybody that's a fursuit head, curved scissors. Tiny curved scissors are a godsend for getting fur trimmed around very like precise areas. Highly, highly recommend. This is number 3. That's what Sharp was saying earlier in the stream. She's like, is this number 3 you're on? I'm like, yeah, this is number 3. I like Tricos. I encourage Tricos being in the world. There needs to be more love for Tricos.
Everybody come out here real quick. Everybody come out. Come here. We're all sing together. Hey. Shining on a cloudy day, and it don't matter what you say. Cause even if the world is ending,
But like I said, this would be like the last Trico for a while. I'm getting a little burnt out on them. Other than my boyfriend's Dutch Angel Dragon, which is kind of based off of Trico, but that's different. That's toony. It doesn't require nearly as much detail as this does. It just has a very similar color scheme, that's all. And yes, he totally became a duchy over Ampicon. He fell in love with using the mouth calls. And I'm like, you're gonna be a duchy. He's like, no I'm not. I'm like, yeah, you are. You just don't know it yet. Well, this one's a bit different than the other ones I've done. This fur is the same I've used in my other ones, but like this back fur and this fur is very different. I had this really cool kind of wool fur that was like a light silver with black tips, and I haven't been able to find it in that same quality. I had that fur for a very long time, so I ended up having to get this from Howl Fabrics and this from Howl Fabrics. And it'll work, it's just I want to do a lot of airbrushing to kind of like dirty it up and to add some more like depth to it. This is a local find fur that I found, and it's kind of like the ostrich stripey, and it works so good for the Tricos. So also, this fur back here is another local find fur, which again works really good for the Tricos. I absolutely love the depth, like the just dimension of colors of these guys. It's not anything I can find online, so that's another reason why I'm going to be like not really making any more Tricos, because I'm honestly running out of materials to make them with. I don't know, I'm thinking I'm going to use this nozzle. It's working out pretty good. I honestly don't feel like waiting for this one to take it off and the other one to heat up. The only problem with switching them out, the whole waiting. And you can't like pack them up and put them away until they're cooled off. You risk, you know, burning yourself. I tend to have my patterns pretty close as far as what I'm cutting, pretty close to the actual, I guess, shapes of the face, so I don't end up having to do very much trimming, especially because I know around the eyes and stuff, I tend to get all pretty close. But I'll still be using my little snippies here around like the tear ducts to remove some, just kind of pressing the fur to this curve right here. Little brow curves. Oh my goodness, 21? Are they all hands, or are they like hands and tails? Do I have anything I want to try with resin claws that I can order for fun experimenting things? Oh gosh, you're asking me on the top of my head right now. I mean, quite honestly, I think the only thing that I'd want to try is for any of the shimmer claws that you order, if they have a shimmer, if there's a shimmer you order and it's not particularly shiny, I would love to add some pig iron to it, which is another kind of shimmer from Smooth On, and it tends to add this like really pretty sparkle. Or even just taking that and just adding to a clear claw. I really like the effect of that. I tend to use it a lot in my crystals. When I have extra resin, I add the pig iron to the crystals. That makes it like whatever color it is, it makes it shiny. And like super sparkle. It's basically like pure mica powder. It's one thing I could like kind of compare it to. But even mica powder is not that shiny. Like I don't know what it's made out of, but it's shiny. 18 other claw gauntlets. Oh god. Are all the rest of them are all the rest of them tails? I still want to make those sea dragon fins at some point. I just got to figure out how to make them. That's the only part that I'm like stuck on. Like how do I make that? How do I sculpt it? And how do I make a mold of it so it's usable and adding fabric to it? The only thing I can think of is doing a 2-part mold and then somehow locking it in place with like screws or something and then like pouring the material in it. But sculpting it, I'm like, how the f fuck do you sculpt something so skinny like that? Like, and keeping it flat and making it so you can make a mold of it. Like, I don't know how to do that. Well, that's good. I mean, dragons like shiny things. I don't know, throw me some ideas in email, because I mean, we've got glimmers, shimmers, or glamours, shimmers, glitters, shimmers, glamours, glow powder, UV reactive resin, or UV reactive dye, I really can't think of anything interesting, honestly. I mean, you've thrown out quite a few crazy ideas. Like the lava stuff is new that we started doing. The only other thing I could think of is maybe trying like marble pours, but I don't know if I can do that and then pick the claws. I think that might disrupt the swirl and cause a bad line in it. That's the only thing that I'd be worried about with that. So if I did do a lava pour, it would have to be like, the tip of the claw would have to be a single color and let that cure, and then do a lava pour afterwards, and that way I can make sure I can guarantee no bubbles. That'd be like the only concern I would have.
The first time I had never felt alone.
Oh, that's good. Have you ever gone to a rent fair to sell your gauntlets or your tails? Because I'm pretty sure they would sell.
Thunder struck in for just a kiss. Sunny loving all
Or even like maybe start like leaning into doing like wings or something too.
we could be.
That'd be pretty cool. Yeah, like I've done it a couple times. I had a customer, jeez, it was a really long time ago, but I had a customer a while ago that asked if I could do a galaxy marble pour for claws. And the only thing that I could think of to compare it to is pretty dildos. If you see the swirling that they have on those things. Or I guess lollipops, that'd be a more innocent way of thinking it, lollipops. But I ended up doing... See, I'd have to do it again because I haven't done it so long. I think I made one batch of clear resin and I separated it into multiple cups. And then I did powder in 3 of the cups because I did blue, pink, and purple. And then I had clear in the other cup. And I can't remember if I poured multiple layers into one cup and then poured it into claw, or if I was pouring the cups into the claw directly and then kind of swirled it real quick. But they turned out really, really pretty. They're very unique, and they had, since they had the clear in there, it kind of broke up all the thicker like pigment. But again, I did it 3 different ways, and I can't remember which way worked the best because it's been so long. But they were really pretty. And the thing is, I can't guarantee consistency with something like that. Like, each claw is going to be a little bit different. Each batch is going to be a little bit different. Just because it depends on how it's poured. But something like that would definitely be much more complicated than even the 3-layer claws. So it wouldn't be cheap. But yeah, I haven't had any opportunities to really experiment with doing more kind of unique pours like that. Because it's tricky. So that'd be the only thing I could think of that'd be unique and different. But you've already kind of got that kind of effect with the lava swirl, so it's a lot cheaper and it works. Oh no. Yeah, that's the biggest problem I have with trying to work Renaissance festivals and working Comic-Cons. Or anime cons in general. They have a lot of requirements in order to have tables, and they're very expensive. Like, they're like triple the price or more of furry cons. So it's really difficult to try to get to them. Like, at one point, we were going to start getting into, like, Comic-Cons or anime cons to sell at because a lot of our products are kind of versatile towards other genres. It's not just furry. Like, we have a lot of cosplay stuff, as well as like Halloween type things and Renaissance-y kind of stuff. So it's like, We thought about applying for them, but it's just so expensive to even have tables.
I never meant to hurt you. I didn't really mean the words I said. I said, if I could take it all back, I swear I'd never do it all again. Again. 'Cause I need you by my side and I need you in my life. And if you hear this song, just know that I'll never find a better one.
I really wish I had a camera behind me so you can see what I'm doing. It's kind of awkward trying to have it pointing towards the camera there. I'm trying to work. I'm just kind of going around the edges now and I'm gluing the edges down.
So even when I'm gone,
I'm going to go through and trim with my sneakers.
Give it all you got until someone take you to the top so you become everything that you've been dreaming of. Baby, I've been in LA for too long and I still ain't found a place.
Oh, that's good.
Ain't no
Usually I try to strive really hard to make everything look the same.
all this glamour at Grammy parties ain't the same. Had me wishing that I never got on that plane. Now I'm stuck in California, just trying to get to you. I might drive back down to Georgia and wait there for you. I seen the fame, baby, they can have it. It ain't got nothing on you. Now I'm stuck in California with dreams that came true. Now I'm stuck in California, and it's easy back to you. Now I'm stuck in California, I'm just trying to get to you. Take away my insecurities, replace it with a bottle of Hennessy. Baby, I think that they already meant that me.
Wish I had like sharpeners for these kind of little scissors. I'm getting a little dull over the years.
Thinking, how could I have gotten this far? Ooh, all this glamour, Grammy parties ain't the same. Got me wishing that
Oh really? Are they even worse at being cheapos at anime cons?
California, just trying to get to you. I might drive back down to Georgia and wait.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I had a lot of
Seen the fame, baby, they
kids come to our table wanting skull dogs,
now I'm stuck
and then we tell them how much the skull dogs are, and they're like, "Oh my god, I'm not paying that for a mask." I'm like, that's fine. I'm not asking you to if you don't want to. Like, I wish I had more Flexdrome skull stock because they're a lot cheaper. The whole reason I started creating the Toonie skulls in Flexdrome in the first place to make it more like financially accessible for kids and safer. You don't have to worry about the kid dropping it and knocking teeth out. But the kids want the detailed skull dogs, they want to be spoopy. So, and I started making resin versions of it. It was never intended to be resin. Ever. And now my one employee absolutely hates Toonie skulls.
I was walking through the desert, searching for
Because it takes so long to cut those heads open, sand those teeth. Yeah, I think I need my precision nozzle for this. I tried just using it and it did not work very well. trying a little itty bitty one and see how this goes.
Stay tonight.
Experimentation, go.
Stay tonight. You're 1,000 miles away, but if you count what I'm away, stay tonight.
Fuck those guys. Hot.
Yeah, stay tonight.
Where is my pliers?
Stay
I
tonight.
want to touch this.
Stay tonight. Stay tonight. Stay tonight.
I don't think I'm going to be able to use this on here. Nope. Now we have danger nozzle.
In the ocean, don't know which one it was.
Trying to get little tiny guys. Yeah, let's go.
Searching for your love. I heard it was a treasure no one has ever seen. You hide inside a
Okay, turn
light,
that.
buried in the sand beneath. You're 1,000 miles away, but if you count while I'm away, stay tonight. Stay tonight. You're 1,000 miles away, but if you count while I'm away, stay tonight. Stay tonight.
Oh, no problem. I'm glad I can answer some of your questions live instead of going back and forth with emails, honestly.
Stay tonight.
It's all good. I hope you have a good rest of your weekend. Try not to knit your hands off.
Stay tonight. Stay tonight.
Right now I'm just trimming the fur away from the tear duct area. I don't want any of that blocking the vision ports. So I'm starting to see a little bit of the eye being trimmed out on this side compared to the other side. Where is my name? Oh no, don't fall down.
Do you get tired of your misery? It's on repeat daily. It ain't gonna change. over time. So relax and ease your mind. Have you thought riding with me? I'll take the wheel for you to see what would have been, what could have been. Let me drive a little crazy. 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 Drive a little crazy. Crazy. We bust a mission, clear your vision so your eyes can see. Be successful is a hustle, take its destiny. Stop the blame game, we stay scheming. In my drop top, they start believing. Have you thought riding with me? I'll take the wheel for you to see what would have been, what could have been. Let me drive a little crazy. 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 Drive a little
Oh,
crazy.
that was interesting. Ooh, I like it. I was squeezing the hot glue gun and no hot glue was coming out, but smoke was coming out of the tip. It's probably like steam, but it looked like smoke. I'm like, ooh, that's hot. This little precision nozzle is going to be amazing going around these eyes. I can tell already. I'm very excited.
Stop the blame game, we stay scheming. In my drop top, they start believing. Let me drive a little crazy. Let me drive a little crazy. Let me drive a little crazy. Drive a little crazy.
Oh.
I've got a wild side, got a child's mind, insecurities and a wall built up a couple miles high. She knows this, she obsesses over all the words I say and the little games I play when I'm restless. The one thing she don't know, 'cause I never let show, is that I missed her when she's away and I wanna kiss her face. She thinks she's in over her head. She thinks she's the only one who goes crazy. Picks up the phone when she thinks she heard it ring. Hugging her pillow every night when she's asleep. But she's not the only one when I'm with her. I can't sleep, wanna know what she's dreaming. Falling in love to the sound of her breathing. Trying to hide, but it's easy to see that. Well, she's not the only one. She's not the only one. You've got those bright eyes looking through mine. I'm trying to figure out if there's any more doubt.
Okay. So I'm gonna do something about this angle. There we go. There we go. Got this eye trimmed out. I'm gonna go ahead and start gluing it down. If in case, would you please stay where I put you?
She thinks she's the only one who goes crazy. Picks up the phone when she thinks she heard it ring. In her pillow every night when she's asleep.
So basically right now, we'll dribble right there. I'm gonna be gluing right along the edge.
Sleep, wanna know what she's dreaming. Falling in love to the sound of her breathing. Trying to hide, but it's easy to see that.
And I'm gonna be pressing the fur down
She's not the only
so it blends into the edge. And it hides that edge with the fur.
How we get here feels like 10 years. Knew each other, I was so real. I don't know how I feel. My heart needs some place to rest.
This is where it helps to have like long nails because you can kind of work with the edge a bit more. Pushing it down. There's I'm gonna wipe off the nozzle before I start. You can also use the nozzle to kind of remelt hot glue that's already there. Which I'm going to do right here because there's some hot glue right there. I'm using the edge of the nozzle to just press against that hot glue. So I can then, not even using any glue, I'm like just remelting hot glue that's already there. Hot glue right here.
Causes blood from kissing slowly. You don't know me and I bet
Turn you.
What do you say when you need the truth? What do you say when you can't get through now? What does it take for the heart to choose? What does it take to survive with you? Oh, need some clarity if you still want me. Cause if you don't, then what do you say? Just give me the truth. Tell me where do we stand? Cause I need to know, yeah. Don't just leave me hanging. Tell me where do we stand? Cause I need to know, yeah. Don't just leave me hanging. Tell me where do we stand? Get me up, however, this way, yeah. I'm still being left in the dark, yeah. Get me up, however, this way, yeah. I'm still being left in the dark, yeah. What do you say when you question so ever get? What do you say when you're left alone? Spend months in whatever fate is we let our home. Death don't like this. What is it get at your place so oh, innocence of peace. I'm unspoke, so what do you say? Set me free and go. Tell me where do we stand? Cause I need to know, yeah. Don't just leave me hanging. Tell me where do we stand? Cause I need to know, yeah. Don't just leave me hanging. Tell me where we stand. This way, yeah. I'm still being left in the dark. Yeah. Get me up, this way, yeah. I'm still being left in the dark. Yeah. And I'm tired being left in the gray area. Cause I don't wanna choose you. Stop thinking, do you? All I know is where we stand. If you can't give me that, then say so. Look almost into you. Got played now, you. All I know is where we stand. And if you won't give me that, then just go. Leave this wasteland. Get me up, however, this way, gray area. I'm just gonna be left in the dark, gray area. Get me up, this way, gray area. I'm just gonna be left in the dark, gray area. Take it from me, I've learned my lesson. She gave everything, she was such a blessing. But from day to day, she would change her ways. Give me her love, then she'd take it away, take it away, take it away. Just like the Reaper, thought she was the one for me, turned out she was a sleeper. Sleeping on me in this game of love. I was too blind to see it'll never be enough. So good is never good enough for her. She won't stay for long while she's bringing you down, but she'll suck you right in with what she's doing. You'll want her somehow in her final bow. Like an elevator, elevator. She'll take you up and bring it down, down and down. She's like an elevator, elevator. She'll take you up and bring it down, down. Just like an elevator.
Well, I no longer own the Godzilla suit, because it was originally made for a skit for Capsicon a long time ago. The only suit up video I have is for the person who bought the suit, and it's not really good. I want to go through and like edit that video. I just haven't had a chance to do it because my computer has been pretty much down since December. Oh, happy frog. Happy frog time. But I have a lot of footage of wearing the costume and getting into the costume because it is a bit complicated. I've had a couple people reach out to me with the Becoming Godzilla site about like posting how I built the suit. Problem is, I built that suit in like 4 weeks, and I didn't get very much like pictures and videos of me building it because I was on such a time crunch. So I don't really have a precise like tutorial to post to say, and a lot of my pictures I took I posted on Twitter, and I didn't realize until much later that Twitter does save your posts and pictures for a couple months, but after a year it deletes it. So I didn't have my computer crashed at some point back then, so I ended up losing a lot of my pictures, and my phone was stolen. So a lot of my stuff wasn't backed up, and I ended up losing a lot of important videos and pictures. So yeah, it was one of those builds I just didn't really document, so I don't have very much to go by. So it's pretty much like the finished product, but like, here, look at the finished products, I'm selling it, and that's about all I got. I would like to at some point dedicate time to compiling pictures of my builds, because I do document quite a bit on when I'm building something. Like my Tricos have a lot of like step-by-step pictures and videos of me working on building them. It's just I'm not computer savvy, and I'm still very much learning on doing editing, so for me to sit down and try to focus on editing videos is not fun. That is work to me. I am much more comfortable doing this part of the process than I am going through and editing videos. Like, it's really hard. Like, it's like me taking a test for the SATs. It's like, that's how difficult it is for me. So if I was ever able to hire somebody to do all these like compile videos for me, that would be amazing. Like, I would have no problem doing voiceover on a video and kind of going over the process in which I did to make something. I'm just not good at doing compilations, I guess you should say. Like, I actually went through the chicken head project and I completely organized all my step-by-step videos and pictures to get ready to do something about it, you know, to actually post videos. Like, I want to post videos of my builds on YouTube. It's just hard for me to get around to doing it. Like just off the top of my head, I could compile a Godzilla video, I could compile a Toothless video, more so of it just being out and about, because a lot of my video back then was kind of shitty, and I had to do some editing with like rotating video, because whoever's recording was rotating the camera, so of course that doesn't look very good on YouTube. A lot of people complain about it. So those, I would like to do a video on the Defender Trico build. I would love to do a video on the Hero Trico head that I made for Inu. I'd love to do a video on the chicken head as far as the build process, as well as like the finished product, because I have a lot of videos of the finished head as well, and the movement and the beak and stuff. And then eventually I'd love to do a cute little video of my Among Us costume. It's still unfinished in the back room there, and you know, but it's just me trying to sit down and spending time editing those videos. It hurts. It's not pleasant for me. So I give mega props to the YouTubers out there that not only record the video, do the setup and everything like that, but also go back through and edit the videos and then post them, because that's a lot of work, especially if you go through the whole like TV scene with the descriptions too, like crediting songs and, you know, putting your like links and affiliates in there, and then if you want to get like, what's it called, I guess shares, like if you have like an Amazon account linkage or something like that towards like what tools you use and product, and then they buy it through your link, and then you get like a percentage or something. I don't know how that works. I haven't done that, but yeah, it's a lot of work. It's I'm too old for this shit. I am not computer new age kid generation. I am computer started in school for me generation. So, and also when we had a computer in the house, it's more so my dad playing PC games than using it for any of this kind of stuff.
I just need some time now to get things clear now.
If it says anything, I'm a Newgrounds kid.
Get rid of my fear.
That was my entertainment back in the day.
I just need some time now to get things done now. Things I love, things I want. I do what's best for me, what's best for you. But if you fall, who's next to you? I do what's best for me and best for you. I know it hurts 'cause I'm hurt too. I need another you.
Like, I don't even remember if I even have my suit up video of Toothless anymore because of the commentary. It's pretty bad on it. And again, it's another, like, I took a video of suiting up in the suit for the person who was going to buy the suit so that I knew how to get into the costume.
Some time now, need to figure out now if there's still
My Toothless costume was never meant to be a situation where I would sell it to somebody else because it was a very difficult costume to get in and out of. You need assistance to get in and out of that costume.
pain.
You cannot do it by
If
yourself.
it's worth to wait, I do what's best for me.
That can be kind of a scary situation when you cannot get out of a costume when you need to without help.
If you fall,
You're gonna have some really good
next to
friends
you, I do what's best for me
around to take care of you.
and best for you. I know it hurts 'cause I'm hurt too. I need another you.
Like, I felt bad for this one guy at Anthrocon. He was in a really awesome, like, muscly werewolf suit. And he didn't have a handler. And yet his zipper was in the back of his suit. So he could not get out of the bodysuit without assistance. So every time he came into the Headless Lounge to cool off, he had to ask for somebody who had hands to help him. And I'm like, dude, why don't you have a handler? It's like, that's kind of dangerous. What if you started overheating? And nobody was available to help you, or nobody wanted to help you. I mean, jeez. It's like a funny thing to think about. Not everybody has the aptitude to want to stick their hands into a sweaty suit, you know?
So just keep your distance from me, baby. Don't waste your precious time on me, boy. When your girl, she's waiting for your love. Don't let slip
so this side of the face is glued down. Well, except for this. I gotta still do this part down here. And you can see how like this has such a crisp line, and all this here is kind of like nicely blended in. But right now it has a very rough shave on it. I was just shortening up some of these areas here because I have actually quite a few darts for these brows, and also in this cheek I have a dart right here. I think it's right here. But you can't see it because I shaved the fur down before I sewed it, which really helps to hide those. You can see a little bit right here, but once I get another shave on this, that'll be gone. Yeah, it's really cute. But I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna glue this down here, and then I'm gonna flip over and do the other side. And it's a very tedious process. It takes a while to do if you want to get all the key spots, you know.
Thank you.
Getting there. The airbrushing and the painting is where it really, really comes together. My goal today is to get everything glued down so I could do the painting next. Well, glue down and shade, and then do the painting.
This road's gonna take us home. This road's gonna take us home. But every darkness bears a dawn. We won't walk this road alone. This road's gonna take us home.
Only problem with this precision tip is that you have to wipe it off every time. And it does have this kind of like residual pressure glob that I do not want to accidentally put on here. I'm putting very, very minimal amounts of glue on. So do these edges where I fold the fur over. And and get that kind of like natural blend.
Lost the things I love the most.
So if I put a huge glob there, there's gonna be like this giant like hard spot. It's not gonna look good.
I've traveled into the unknown. I've traveled into the unknown. I've given the devil all I own.
There's glob.
All I own. But all is what I saw. But all let you go. This road's gonna take us all. This road is gonna take us all. With every darkness there's a dawn. We won't walk this road alone. This road is gonna take us all. This road is gonna take us all. With every darkness there's a dawn. We won't walk this road alone. This road's gonna take us all. This road's gonna take us all. But every darkness there's a dawn. We won't walk this road alone.
I'm gonna grab a paper towel and just have it over here. So it's not glue gun. That might be a little bit easier. Let's wipe it off. Yeah. If anybody has any questions at any point or want to talk about random shit, go right ahead. It's a pretty laid back stream. It's kind of like the prime opportunity if you have any questions at all about like DVC or ordering or products we offer or future stuff. I am open to conversation. I mean, quite honestly, I'm always open. That's why I always just give people my email or my Twitter to contact me. Does not cost a dime. One day I think we'll get a light over there, pointing this direction. I think that might help a bit. It's like harsh above light, not exactly the best.
Every word is poison, 'cause every word hurts. Are we friends or bitter enemies?
I have a feeling I'm no longer in the pop station.
Like thunder, I got a heart that's cursed. There's a black cloud.
What's going on here? Where'd you stick me? Oh, still pop.
Perfect storm.
Kissing slowly, she don't love me, she's just leading me on again. Tries to fake it, no, she'll break it. I can't take being alone in the end. I let this happen, I was happy.
Oh yeah, actually I'm quite versed of doing neck vision style heads. Godzilla is a neck style vision head. Toothless is a neck style vision head. Werewolf I did was neck style vision. Velociraptor costume I did was also neck vision. Using wire rings to fill out the shape. Honestly, I've used just foam for filling out the shapes. You can use Ava foam to give it a little bit more structure if you want, but cushion foam works pretty good too. What I found actually works out best is to create a shape using newspaper. So like if you already have your framework done where it sits on your head, you can put that on a mannequin and then you can build it out with paper to see what kind of shape you want first, and then you can design a pattern off of that in order to create your kind of like your foam insert. And that way it's softer and you don't have to worry about as much like wiring going on. When I did the Velociraptor build, I think I still have the video up on YouTube, I'm going to double check, but I actually did a hood of fabric. Oh goodness. Okay, camera? Just like freaked out there for a second. I did a hood of fabric and then I built like rings of foam, like 2-inch foam, to create that kind of like, I guess that like bulkiness in the back of the raptor head, and I did spacing. So it made it so you can actually do this with the head and it coiled. And then I just put fabric on top of that. I don't know why the camera freaked out back there, but let me, I don't know if I can, I'm gonna try, see if I can get on YouTube while on YouTube, you know? I may have taken the video down, I'm not sure, because I took down a lot of my old videos. Library. No. I don't know how to navigate my own YouTube channel. Studio. Oh, let's see, did I keep it up? Yeah, my Godzilla wearing videos are all private right now, because I want to go through and download those and redo them. Velociraptor 4 Godzilla. Oh yeah, it's still public. If you look up Velociraptor progress, for some reason Why is it ineligible? I need to fix that. That should not be ineligible. But yeah, the Velociraptor progress video that I have up on my YouTube page here shows a lot of the foam understructure, and I have a frame built that's actually built on a... What the heck is that? What the heck is that? That's actually built on a, trying to think of the name of it. Hard helmet framework. And then I attached plastic and metal to create a piece that comes down to here, and then I created a chin cup mechanism, and I have a wire going from the front of the chin cup up to the underside of the jaw to make the jaw move. But because it has that ratcheting part in the back, you're able to tighten it so it stays on your head really, really good. But because there's so much forward weight on the raptor head, and a lot of my other, like Godzilla, I even needed it too, but because there's a lot of forward weight, even though you try to cut down the weight as much as possible, you have to have a nylon strap going from the back of your harness to a belt around your waist. With a little belt, you can put elastic in there too, or you can just straight up nylon with an adjustable strap. You have to be able to adjust it, because there'll be days where you need it tighter and days where you need it looser. So, but you need that strap for the counterbalance of the head, because otherwise the head is going to try slipping forward on you. No matter how much you try to stop it, you're going to need that strap. But I've done these builds a couple different ways. I've done the rings of foam with like the toothless. So that's such a big build, I could do that, and there was no motion in the neck. For the Velociraptor, I wanted motion in the neck, so that's the reason why I made like the cowl of fabric, and then I put the foam on the outside to build out the shape. And then I put fabric on top of that with the duct tape pattern. The werewolf build that I did is that foam core that I was talking about. So it actually has sheets of 1/2-inch foam going from here down the back of the neck to fill out that kind of like swooping neck shape. And it worked okay. I mean, obviously it's got limitations, so if you put your head back, it's gonna make this weird fold in it. But I've done it a couple different ways. I very much like how the Velociraptor head worked out, because I feel like I had a lot more movement in that head. It was also lined with athletic mesh, which was really comfortable, so that was nice. But
Yeah. It's been a long time coming.
yeah, Avafoam's a pretty awesome material. I will say I've used it to build a couple bases. At this point, I honestly wish I would have made my Velociraptor out of Avafoam. This was a commission for a customer, so Avafoam really didn't exist back then. It wasn't easily accessible back in 2012. So yeah, for this one I ended up like doing rigid foam. I slushed it as thin as I could to keep the weight down, but it was still hefty, and of course it's going to be fragile because it is a rigid foam, not a flexible foam. So like nowadays I would definitely have sculpted this out of clay, and I would have made a pattern, and I would have made it out of Avafoam. So if I ever do a Velociraptor again in the future, I will be making it out of Avafoam, because trust me, I want to make dinosaurs. I love dinosaurs. I just haven't had the opportunity to do it yet. I have like all this fabric that's like that patterned scale fabric that I can use to make a raptor pack. Or Dilophosaurus, because I love Dilophosauruses. But, yeah. I'll nerd out on that for sure. I'm glad I could help you out. I don't really have... I don't think I have video of the Godzilla, but the Godzilla head is made out of Avafoam, and I have that built on the hard helmet ratchet base, which you can buy at Tractor Supply. You can buy them separately now. You don't have to do what I did. You have to buy an actual hard helmet and then remove it from the hard helmet. You can actually buy the head harness from Tractor Supply now in 2 different sizes, which is awesome. But yeah, you can just build it out of that head harness and the Ava foam. If you want to do a moving jaw, yeah, you'll have to add some wire in there and some structure. Sintra plastic is an awesome material, I highly recommend, or styrene. If you can get it in sheets, you can actually buy it from sheets. You can buy sheets of it from Interstate Plastics. You have PVC, styrene, and Sintra. You want to get it in 90.90 millimeter thickness, I think, or 0.60 millimeter thickness. And I think for Sintra it goes, is it millimeters or something smaller than that? I think it's a smaller increment than that. Millimeters, you'd only need 6 millimeter thickness for Sintra. But like for some reason, the measurements for the styrene and the PVC is like just like 0.060, 0.090 thicknesses. I don't know, it's confusing. But anyways, this right here, this is Sintra. It's a heat forming plastic. It works great for building jaw structures. Again, I'm not sure exactly what the thickness this is, but this is like optimally what thickness you want. I think this is 6 millimeter thickness. I've had this for like 15, 20 years, and I'm still using pieces of it. Like I got a big sheet of it a long time ago, but I love using this for building frames for fursuit heads and mechanics and wings and stuff like that, because it's a, you know, it's a pretty durable plastic. It's heat forming, so you can meld it to any shape you want with the heat gun. And I mean, it just works great for that kind of stuff. It's easy to drill, it's easy to sand. It takes a beating. So, but I forgot what the measurements were because it's been so long. Yeah, Ava foam, craft foam, and Ava foam are two completely different animals, let me tell you. Especially like puzzle mat is what people were using a lot for building costumes. Completely different from Ava foam. Ava foam is a denser foam and it's less rubbery. So it works great for cutting, sanding, heat forming. Like I did a wolf puppet build a while ago, and I used puzzle mat and I used Ava foam. Okay, so initially when I was making it out of puzzle mat, and I ended up realizing it doesn't sand very well. But when I used Ava foam, oh my god, it sands so smooth using a ceramic sanding drum, and I could just literally carve and mold it almost like it was clay, just because it was so versatile. And then of course I got the foam clay that you can add on top of it, which is a lot of fun for organic stuff. I can geek out about materials for hours, so I do apologize for not actually doing any work, because I love spreading knowledge about raw materials, because it's a lot of fun and you pick up a new technique and a new skill. Like, I wish back when I first started doing cosplay, Ava foam was available. Like, thermoplastics did not exist when I started getting into stuff. 2-part resin materials, unless you were using boat resin, it didn't exist. Like, this stuff was not accessible. Like, I straight up went to hospitals trying to get their Cobra cast, which is designed for broken bones, because it was a heat-forming mesh plastic, and nobody would sell it to me. But it was not available. And now they got, like, Warbla, and you got the Cobra cast that you can now get, and then Foss shape. Like, there's like so many different heat forming materials. So amazing. Like, I love Foss shape. These ears are made of Foss shape. Foss shape is a heat forming fabric. It feels like fleece, and it comes in 2 different thicknesses. Now they have it in black and white, and you literally heat it up with a heat gun and you form a shape you want. It works as cartilage. Like, it keeps its shape. It's just an amazing material to use for costumes. But this stuff was not available when I first started. That makes me wonder, like, how different my, like, costuming and, like, just suit building career would have been if I would have been able to get a hold of these things a lot earlier on, you know?
Between you, between me, and search for an answer. I can't takes courage to capture a dancer. The things I fear the most. Between you, between me, and the search for an answer. Sure to die away. Even though
I'm glad you're enjoying the tech talk. I said this kind of stuff, like talking about things like this when I go to cons, is what gets me super pumped. Because I love hearing what people are like using and trying out, and like their essential, like their trial and error of it, and like things they like and things they don't like about it. Like now the talk is all about 3D printing. So even with that, which is I have very basic knowledge about, like I know that there's extruded printers, there's PVC printers, and then there's resin printers, and each one's had their ups and downs. It's really interesting to hear what people have been experiencing with these new things, like how difficult it's to print and what kind of like troubleshooting they've been having to do with like the parts malfunctioning, or like there's so many different types of plastics you can use in these things. Like there's even a clay extruding 3D printer. So you can print something out from your computer essentially 3D in clay, which is a very base model, and then you can go back over it with a sculpting tool and finesse your work. Can you imagine how much time that would save by just being able to just mirror a sculpture and then print it out as a very base shape and then do the fine details on it by hand? It just like just blows my mind. Absolutely blows. Like the problem I run into is like I can understand the mechanics of how something's built, and how materials work, but I'm really not that good at 3D modeling in computers. Like that's my biggest downfall. I'm just not good with it. If you give me like a bunch of raw materials you can put in my hands, I'll build you something. It's like I just wish I could do the same with the computer shit. I just struggle with it so much. I've always said that I'm like technology cursed. Anything that's got a computer brain to it, I will break. And I'm not doing it on purpose. It's just, it will break. It will fail. I feel like my Jeep is a prime example of this. Because I have a Trailhawk, and this thing has been like cursed since I got it. It's had so many computer and computer and electrical problems since I got it. And I'm like, oh, it's because this thing's basically a computer on 4 wheels. That's why it's breaking on me. Because that's what happens. Thing just hates me. When I had my Laredo, there was no problems. It had very basic technology in it. But this Trailhawk has been just a biatch. It's been in the shop more than it's been in my hand since I got it in October. Like I dropped it off in the shop before Anthrocon, and it's still in the shop. It's been like 2 weeks now. And I don't know if they've actually like fixed the problem. I've brought it back like multiple times with the same problem. And they don't know what's wrong with it. I'm like, at this point, it'd just be cheaper for you guys just to get me a new vehicle. Instead of me using up all the warranty to try to bring this thing back and you guys aren't getting paid for it. Just put me back in a Laredo. I just want a 4-wheel drive vehicle that works. That's all I want. I cannot function on my property without a 4-wheel drive vehicle. It just does not work with that. With 2-wheel drive, I get stuck. So yeah, it's doing me no good having a 4-wheel drive tow vehicle if I don't have it. I agree. I very much miss like artist dinners. Like some of my friends would get together for artist dinners, and it'd be like anywhere from like 6 to like 20 people. All of them are artists, right? 3D artists, I should say, like fursuit makers. And we would all just sit down, just have dinner, and just talk. Just talk shop, talk about costumes, talk about things we're excited about and stuff. Like, just chill. And because normally we wouldn't be able to do that while we're out at the convention. We get to go to like a dinner place that's like out of the way by like a good like 10 minutes or so from the con space, so we can just be away from people. So we can just be people and talk, because in the con space you're constantly like, I understand like people want to come up and say hi and stuff like that, but it's like impossible to talk to your artist friends unless it's in a private setting, like either you're in a hotel room or again at a dinner place that's away from the event space. But I miss doing that because it's really hard to try to plan for these kind of things unless you do it like way ahead of time, like months ahead of time, so that way everybody clears up their schedule and be able to like do these things. I also noticed it kind of sucked that we didn't get an invitation at AntlerCon for the dinner event, because they weren't like automatically like given to the dealers. It was a separate thing on the table of stuff that you had to grab, and I'm like, you should have had that like in the bag for dealers, or like directly handed it to them, or attach it to their badge or something, you know? Because I didn't even know it was a thing, and that would have been an opportunity to like hang out with the other, you know, dealers for the con, because that is like a private setting that only super sponsors, guests of honor, and artists get to go to. But I didn't know, because I didn't look on the table for that, because all I was trying to grab was the essentials and get out of the way so the next person could get their badge, because we were on a time limit to get our vax checks and our badges before we could do loading. And we had already been like in line for like almost 30 minutes. Arm wings. Oof, that's a good question. I really haven't done too many arm wings. I'm not sure what people are using. The only thing I could think of is stiff felt. The floss shape that I'm using for the ears would work really good, because you can actually cut out the feathers and then heat them up individually and stiffen them up. You can also use spray-on starch for a fabric base. Because I'm guessing you want it to be washable. So this other idea I'm thinking of probably wouldn't work. I use this brush-on glue that's normally used for applying wallpaper, and I use it to make feathers for wings because I want realistic feathers. But I don't think it's washable. That's the only thing. That's why it only would work for like backpack wings. I don't think it would work for arm wings. I don't know, you might have to go on Twitter and reach out. There was an artist just across the way from us that was making and selling arm wings. I know they were fleece feathers, but I don't know what she was using to make them stiff. The only thing I can think of again is like stiff felt or craft foam to kind of get a little bit more stiffness, because it can be washed. I just don't know if the stiff felt will soften over time. Like, because I mean, this is stiff felt. It's kind of covered in fur, but like, you know, it's a pretty stiff material. So if you put this inside each of your feathers, that should help give them a little bit more rigidness, as long as they're not too excessively long. I would think that 12 inches would be fine. Anything longer than that, then you need something a little extra oomph for it. I don't know if they put wire in feathers for arm hands. I think maybe the finger sections would have like some Delworm rod, which is plastic, or some wire, possibly in like the fingertip ones or the really long primaries. But I don't know. I've never done them, so I wish I could give you some more advice on that, but that's something that I've not really done too much. I know a lot of people now are doing smooth minky for feathers, or they're doing the mochi fabrics, but I don't know what they're using for the inside for it, honestly. I don't know why I looked at the hot food gun and thought I wanted to drink it.
I'm hoping that you understand. You ain't the man until you ain't the man. Just pray to God we keep you in the plans. You ain't the man until you in it. What they want from me.
Yeah, after I finish gluing this head, I'll probably go stop for the night. I do have some other things I gotta take care of. But like I said, mostly this was like an experiment stream to see how it would go. Make sure I've got like the music thing under control, the microphone under control. Obviously, if I had my lav mic on me, it'd be a lot better quality. My boyfriend was sleeping at the time, he borrowed it from me last, and he still kind of has it, so I couldn't get it. But there's also a time limit on that. The lav mic, I think, has 4 hours of recording battery life on it or something like that. So I normally use that for tutorials. I've never used it for a live stream, but I can imagine it'd be a lot easier for you to hear me if I had that. That's a good point. I forgot about interfacing. Yeah, you can do an interfacing that you can get from the fabric store. Well, I forgot about that. Good point. Yeah, that comes in all different kinds of thicknesses, and some of them are even like heat iron on. They have like a built-in glue, and they are washable. So interfacing might be a good idea for you. But I forgot about interfacing. Well, I had to use it for collars, for cosplay freaking coats and stuff. I never really used it for furry things. You're so smart. Be right back.
want my head to keep spinning. Blown through a maze, into my eye, your seductive ways. Throw me in a loop I can't escape. Round and around, flying sky high, hand in hand. I feel you tug me down into your deepest place.
And I will give you my heart. Inside I wish you well. But if you tear it apart, then I have no love.
The bitterness between us is fuel the masquerade. All the steps we're taking lead us on these escapades. I won't give you my heart, 'cause only time will tell. If your destructive ending will push me down to hell. Caught in a pause, that'll defy what was lost in the separation of my inner head. Break up of my sweetened feelings, can't foresee my timely killing. I don't want my head to keep spinning. I don't want my head to keep spinning. I deem your patience to keep filling all the words that I am spitting. But I don't want my head to keep spinning. I don't want my head to keep spinning.
And I will give you my heart. Inside I wish you well. But if you tear it apart, then I have no love.
The bitterness between us is fuel the masquerade. All the steps we're taking lead us on these escapades. I won't give you my heart, 'cause only time will tell. If your destructive ending will push me
Okay, sorry about that. I gotta check what was going on this evening.
I don't want my head to keep spinning, 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 bitterness between us is fuel the masquerade. All the steps we're taking lead us on these escapades. I won't give you my heart, 'cause only time will tell. Your destructive ending will push me down to hell.
Look into my eyes and don't be shy. Feel the music in your blood tonight. Feel the rhythm in my bones. What do you say? I don't know. Nah, I can't hear you out, yeah. Follow through the mellow. I can show you the right moves for you. Move your feet, come and dance with me. Till that is all you wanna do, eh? When everyone has gone and we are on our own, till then I follow roads that never take me home. But if you find me there, oh, I'll show you where there ain't no lies. Oh, just look in my blue eyes. out tonight. Just let up, it's alright. We can just dance out all night. I can't help it, but for some reason I feel that I need you more now. Am I wrong, or can I feel our hearts connect as one? When everyone has gone and we are on our own, till then I follow roads that never take me home. But if you find me there, oh, I'll show you where there ain't no lies. Oh, just look in my blue eyes.
In Rome, I finally got to see you again. In Rome, this time I'll never let you go.
Okay.
I've been thinking about you and everything you do this time. I won't let you go. This time, I won't let you go. The only time when I don't feel like going home is when you stick around and hold me warm. I just wanna be with you, even if you don't want to, girl. You promise you will never let me go. In Rome, did you think about me when I was home? You know I felt so alone. I had to drink my sorrows gone, and now I am moving on. And I've been thinking about you and everything you do this time. I won't let you go. This time, I won't let you go. The only time when I don't feel like going home is when you stick around and hold me warm. I just wanna be with you, even if you don't want to, girl. You promise you will never let me go. Do you remember all the times we stayed up all night and dreamt about what we could be? You told me it was you and me, but now when you are gone, you won't pick up the phone. So tell me, girl, how could you do this to me? The only time when I don't feel like going home is when you stick around and hold me warm. I just wanna be with you, even if you don't want to, girl. You promise you will never let me go. Do you remember all the times we stayed up all night and dreamt about what we could be? You told me it's you and me, but now when you are gone, you won't pick up the phone. So tell me, girl, how could you do this to me?
We fall apart. You break my heart. I say I don't need you anymore. I'm all alone. Pick up the phone. I call and we start all over again. I don't know why we do this, but every time we find ways through it, right around, up and down. But it's worth it when you're with me. I don't know why we do this, but every time we find ways through it, right around, up and down. But I guess we're just meant to be. We're just meant to be. We're just meant to be. I throw you things, you start to scream. We lose our minds when it comes to love. We feel the rage, but love anyway. That's just what you do when you feel this much. I don't know why we do this, but every time we find ways through it, right around, up and down. But it's worth it when you're with me. I don't know why we do this, but every time we find ways through it, right around, up and down. But I guess we're just meant to be. We're just meant to be. We're just meant to be. I don't know why we do this, but every time we find ways through it, right around, up and down. But it's worth it when you're with me. I don't know why we do this, but every time
Okay, almost done with blue eyes. I do the top part of the eye.
around, up and down. But I guess we're just meant to be.
And when I finish doing that, then will be stopping the stream. I do still have to glue around the horns. I gotta do the back part of the head, but I gotta start working on dinner here soon, so. Or at least having dinner. I thought we were doing leftovers tonight.
Blessed are those who love to love, with diamond hearts and plastic lungs.
Yeah, still adult things to do, like, you know, laundry and shit.
And far away from
tomorrow's a
kingdom
work
come,
day.
bridges burn and walls go up, but you always have more to give. It's gonna be a good day. Every time you open up your eyes and you see that there's a light, a reason we're alive. Blessed are those who love to love, with diamond hearts and plastic lungs. I want to see through your eyes. You see what's right and what's gone wrong, and that's your gift. Turn to gray, but you're the one that hides the shade. Every day that we grow, so when it's time to turn the page and nothing's left except your name, I'll repeat the words you told. You say it's gonna be a good day. Every time you open up your eyes and you see that there's a light, a reason we're alive. Blessed are those who love to love, with diamond hearts and plastic lungs. I want to see through your eyes. You see what's right and what's gone wrong, and that's your gift.
the bitter talk. If it's zoned out in the middle of it, if it's zoned out in the middle of it. I know now what the riddle was, now what the riddle was, now what the riddle was.
Yeah, I'm American Central Time, so it's 7 o'clock exactly right now. Yeah. I usually I want to always have my dinner like earlier, like 5, but that's just not how things work out. I mean, I'm usually still at the shop working at 5, so. But I prefer to have my dinners earlier. Like, shoot, last night, I didn't have dinner until 11 o'clock, and it wasn't even dinner, it was yogurt and frozen blueberries. That was my dinner. And I was outside in the heat all day. It was like a heat index of like 111 yesterday. And I was just drinking like liquids all day long. So I was having like Mountain Dew and water and Gatorade all day. I just had no appetite for solid food. So I just wanted yogurt and blueberries. And that's what I had for dinner. I had a good breakfast. I had like eggs, waffles, eggs, a waffle, and a banana. And that was my breakfast. And that pretty much sustained me throughout like the day. And I had a couple peanut butter pretzels during the middle of the day to hold me over. But like I ended up nuking up some stir fry that we had, and I just was not feeling it. I'm like, no, I don't want that. Give me more liquids. It's something you try to do, so you always have food. I have to plan out my day. I just got too much going on at any one time to not plan. I wouldn't get anything done if I didn't. Like for the first time, we actually planned out our entire week of meals and what days were like productive days. So essentially days we come home from work and for example, I work on this, or I work on some kind of like maintenance type thing for the house, like fixing the watering system for the goats. Like we put an in-ground watering pipe for the barn for the goats, and I have yet to switch over from my hose lines going from the house to the barn to my in-ground hose lines, because it requires me to shut everything off, and then I have to go and transfer everything. I have to still install buckets and stuff like that. So it's like it's quite the thing to do. So I have a list of projects for the house I need to get done. Most of them for my animals outside. Try to make things easier. It's especially important that they have water right now because of the high temperatures. They can actually die from heat exhaustion, heat stroke, if they do not have fresh water all the time. So it's a very real fear, essentially. I have to check on them every day to make sure they're okay and nobody's getting seizures or anything. I've never had a heat like this in Texas since I've lived here, so it's a very scary. It's a very scary year for having animals. I've even heard like reports of people's like dogs, essentially having heat stroke and getting seizures and dying. It's so bad this year. Any like dark colored dogs. And I have like one dark colored goat that I'm very worried that she's going to get too hot. So I'm making sure she's staying in the shade and making sure she's still drinking plenty of water. She's still young too, so she could be more susceptible to getting sick.
Loving every heart except mine. Keeping on myself, however I feel inside. I guess I'll just keep telling myself that I'm fine. Remember, it's all alright.
No drippies, stop that. Yeah. I'm glad our air conditioning works well here. That is true. Snakes do like it in that hot weather. I mean, I didn't get in the poop scared out of me yesterday because I was outside. I was kind of going in and out all day, and I was working on installing this lattice work above my workspace. So I was having to go out there and use tools and come back in, go back down, come back in. So I came back in for a little bit, and then I went to go back outside. And underneath the porch of my front door, I heard this rattling noise. It was like really loud. I'm like, what the frick is that? I ended up finding out there was a really big gopher snake that was underneath the porch, and I scared it, so it was like rattling its tail. And then it like went and shot off. I'm like, that was a big snake. That was a very big snake. And of course it shot off underneath of my house, and I'm like, oh god, it's like under my house now. I mean, that's probably where it came from too. I'm like, I mean, I guess that's good. You eat the mice. Well, the mice don't go to my house, but at the same time, don't eat my chickens, please. Because I've actually had problems with the gopher snakes eating chicken eggs and eating young chicks. So I had like, that's another thing. Another project I had to do was right before Anthrocon. I had to build literally Fort Knox of chick enclosures. So I had to build this pen made out of livestock panels, so it's really heavy gauge wire with like double coated hardware wire all over the inside. Like there's no holes in this pen for anything, even a mouse to get through, because I want to make sure that my chicks are safe from snakes, because I've had many instances of losing chicks to snakes and to possums and to skunks. Because what they'll do is, I've got this big dog run my chickens are in that they have free range in with like sand and stuff, and it's their, you know, the play run area, and they will climb over top of this thing to get into the cage, and some of them are small enough that they can get through the wire that's this wide, and they'll get in there and they'll attack the chicks and just tear them apart but won't eat them. So I don't want to lose, because I got a bunch of chicks from a bunch of breeders this year to help like replenish my stock of birds, and I'm using it for my breeding program, and I don't want to lose any for freaking wildlife, so I like squeeze in that task before the convention to protect them, and I haven't lost a single one so far, so it's working. Okay. His facey is all glued. It's really hard to see the shapes on this yet, because I've only done very, like, minor trimming to the fur, just for sewing. But once I actually shave this all down, you'll start seeing the shapes I have under here. Like, there's, like, little, like, knobs right here. And you kind of see that little knob. When I shave that down, you'll see that more, and of course, you'll see the horns more and stuff. I don't have the horn area glued yet. That's going to be for tomorrow, I think. I'm going to glue the horn area, and I'm going to glue the whole back of the hood, because it requires me to actually take this off of the stand. Or I might glue it tonight, I don't know. I probably won't record it. But I would like to get all the gluing done tonight if possible, because I plan to have this head done this month. That is my goal. Because my next project after this is working on a Cloud Phoenix bodysuit. So it'd be hands, feet, body, and tail. So I can have that ready for MFF in December. And then I also have Circle hands and tail that we took on from that person who bought the Circle head. So it's going to be a combination effort between my boyfriend and myself to work on those. Because I'll also be teaching him, you know, how to make these things. And he'll also be helping with Cloud Phoenix bodysuit. So we end up taking that on as a really quick project to do one weekend. So one of these weekends, we're going to put aside the time to finish both the hands and the tail for the Circle. so he can have that by the end of August. But yeah, I'm trying to get back in the groove of being creative again, getting some of my cues done. Like I said, this project's been going on over a year now. Cloud Fennec's bodysuit has been in a multiple payment process for about 3 or 4 years now. He just finished paying it off, so there wasn't any major rush on it. And I've even offered to refund him as well, just because I wasn't getting any kind of creative juices to do stuff. But I have that project. I have Kitsu's wings that he paid for 2 years ago. Again, this happened right at the beginning of the pandemic. He wasn't in any rush to get them done. He doesn't even have the costume for the wings, so I plan to also have that done this year, if not beginning of next year. I have most of it already done. I just gotta finish some of the last bit of feathering work and build the frame for the backpack. And the last very, very large project I have that has been on the waiting block for 6 years now, I think. It's been pretty bad. Has been a life-sized 3/4 bust of Toothless from How to Train Your Dragon popping out of a wall. This is from a very big How to Train Your Dragon enthusiast. So I'm going to go all out on this project, but I needed to have my queue cleared before I took this on, because it will take up like this craft space for me to build it. It's going to be intense. Biggest sculpture I've ever built, and it's going to be all made out of like Owen's cornering foam and epoxy sculpt. Every single little detail you could think of, make it as realistic as possible. Yeah, that's I've had it sitting in the back of my mind all this time, and exactly how I'm going to pull it off. And at this point, I've got everything figured out in my head. It's just doing it. But once I do that, my queue is completely clear. I have a couple like home projects to do. I need to build bunny hay bins for Ciara, my business partner, for her bunnies. I have a little bird bath here from my mom that's for my grandmother that she wants me to fix up so I can make a mold of it so she can make multiple bird baths to sell to people. There's a couple little unusual projects here and there. I love helping people. I love helping my friends. So even though I think my plate is clear, I usually take on stuff and then it's never clear.
Gray, living with a bag of change, looking like you know my name.
But yeah, that's pretty much everything that I have lined up for the future. I'm sure there's going to be some other things squeezed in here and there, but I'll try to do better by actually live streaming, working on stuff. Because I mean, we got work done today. It may have taken a couple hours. But I did a lot of talking. I was doing a lot of fixing on the stream and stuff like that, make sure everything's working smoothly. But yeah, hopefully it's become more of like a standard thing on either Tuesdays and Thursdays or on Sundays, because usually my boyfriend does D&D in the evenings, so it'd be more like an evening type thing if I do. But I have to double check with him that's not going to cause any kind of interference with his D&D if I want to live stream. So we'll have to see how our internet connection is, but I'm going to try to stream on Tuesdays and Thursdays, whatever my production day is going to be. This Tuesday we're going swimming after work, so it will not be this Tuesday, but Thursday I should be doing a stream. I will post it on my Twitter page. I don't know if there's any kind of alert thing or scheduling I can do for YouTube. I'll have to look into it, and that way anybody who's on here can be alerted to when I stream again. Yeah, but that Toothless costume was a very different build than doing an actual hard sculpture. I relied a lot on the fabric already being pre-textured for a lot of the detail, and then doing some of the 3D puffy paint detail for all the big scales. For doing this sculpture, I will have to literally make a texture roller to do all the scale texture on it, all the little tiny scales, and then I'll have to do all the bigger scales as a secondary layer. So it might end up being literally 3 layers. 1 layer just for the muscle tone, 2nd layer for the micro texture, third layer for all the larger scale textures. Like it's gonna be very intense. It's gonna be my biggest project to date. And will probably take the most amount of time. So I want to make it so it's kind of modular because I do have to mail it to the person. So I gotta make it so like the arms come off, the head comes off, the wings come off, so I can like bubble wrap it all. I'm probably going to end up making like literally a wooden box for this thing to make sure it gets to the customer safely. Or I might end up, if they're somewhere like within 12 hours of me, I might just drive it to them. And that way I know it gets to them safe. And then I'll just stay in a hotel, you know, and then drive back. Maybe I'll make a little mini vacation out of it. I don't know. I'll have to double check to see where they're located. Oh god, how does Jacksepticeye say it? Like, smash that smash that subscribe button and ring that bell or something like that. I don't think it was ring that bell back then. I think it was just smash that subscribe or punch that subscribe. I don't know. I've never actually done that before. I don't do this for the subscribes and the rings. I do this for the shits and giggles. Ring that bell notification. Yeah, I guess so. Is that what actually works though? Is it ring the bell? Does ringing the bell actually notify you guys whenever I'm streaming? Because I don't know. That's why I very much encourage my customers, if I'm going to a con, to pick up at a con. I'm not that worried about fursuits as I am sculptures. I mean, even my Toothless costume, when I got mailed to me from my mom, like, UPS destroyed that box. Like, the head on Toothless was crushed. It was, like, sideways crooked. So I had to fix a lot of the structure on it because of the damage that was done. And, like, I don't know what they did. They laid the box on its side and then, like, landed something really heavy in the middle of it. And it just crushed the box. I'm like, why would you think that's okay? To crush the box. I mean, if I would have packed it, I would have actually built a little wooden frame inside of it. But, you know, my mom packed it for me, so I was able to fix it. And then ended up delivering it to the person who originally bought it after I decided to sell it. I really haven't had too many other incidences though. We've had a couple problems with international shipping with our personal, like, well, not personal, but the DVC stuff, boxes getting crushed, and we use double layered cardboard boxes. We bubble wrap the individual items, and then we use large bubble wrap packets around that. So it's like small bubble wrap around the item, large bubbles in order to fill in the space, and then double layered cardboard, and still things get smashed. And we have fragile stickers all over it, stuff like that. Shipping companies just don't care. So yeah, I'll probably reach out to them and ask them, like, where they're located and if we can set up, when it's finished, a drop-off date. And that way I can, as long as they're in the US. I'm not even sure they're in the US. It's been so long. I think they're in the US. Either way, I'll figure it out. Hello, Kai. I'm actually about to stop the stream. I finished gluing the face all together, except I haven't done like the horns in the back of the cowl yet, but I did all the precision gluing for the facey. He still obviously needs to be trimmed up and stuff. You can see the mouth has been all painted. But he's ready to go. But I was saying that I'm going to try to actually get back to doing streaming again in a more consistent basis. So I'm hoping for Tuesdays and Thursdays are usually my productive days during the week after work hours, so I don't get home till 6 o'clock. So I usually wouldn't start streaming until about 7 or 8, and then stream until like 10, so about a couple hours of streaming. And then maybe I'll choose like a weekend day to do some streaming on the weekends. But I want to try to get this guy done for July, because I have some other projects coming up after this. I got some circle tail and hand paws to work on, finished for August, and then I have Cloud Fennec's bodysuit, which is the body, hands, feet, and tail that I plan to have done for MFF, if not sooner. But yeah, that's my next goals. to get done. I'm trying to knock out some of my older Q stuff, Cloud Fennec, Kitsu's Wings, and Toothless 3/4 sculpture are my oldest projects. Well, Kitsu's Wings is only like a year and a half old, but the other ones have been a couple years. So I'm trying to get rid of all my stress factors, and my stress factors is having things I've been waiting for a while. A lot of stuff's happened in the last couple of years, you know, not just the pandemic, but also depression and stuff like that hit me really, really bad in 2018. And that's the whole reason why I ended up moving out of the house from people and finding my own place, because I needed the space. And since then, it's been a lot better. But trying to get back to your groove again whenever everything's been kind of shut down, it's really hard. My creative influences are going to cons and talking to people, and that's what gets me hyped. I love talking about building stuff. I'll say, the video already has a delay on it anyways for me. Like, my recording to what you guys are watching and to what's being, like, sent on chat, my delay is like about 3 minutes or so. So, no worries. Oh, which convention? Because they have Furry Siesta coming up next week. Next weekend? Yeah, I think it's next weekend, which is a little tiny get-together con. And then they have a convention in Texas in October, but I never get to go to it because October is our busiest time of year. It starts in September and it goes until the end of December because of the holidays. So we get swamped. It's like, I don't even know how we squeeze in MFF, honestly. It's that bad. Oh, thank you. I think everybody's gone through a rough time in the last 6 years or so. It's been tough. It's not been an easy time for people in general to survive. It's been a very difficult environment for our generations. I almost feel like our parents had it easier, honestly. It was pretty simplistic back then. But yeah. And that also the thought of, when we start getting to serious shit, the thought of retirement is non-existent for any of us now. Not unless you somehow get some awesome inheritance from somebody. But yeah, it's kind of sad to think about. Like, our country is not doing the best things for its people. And it's just kind of, I'm watching it just slowly set itself on fire. It's just getting really bad. So that's impacted many people in many different levels. So, yeah. That's funny. Typing from my phone and watching on the TV. Phone video is faster than the TV. I mean, yeah, that's kind of the reason why we don't buy cameras anymore for taking pictures at the shop. It's like technology on phones is so much better than so many other things. So camera technology on phones is better than a lot of camera technology on cameras, like professional cameras. Like, they go out of date so quick. But anyways, guys, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. Again, keep an eye on my Twitter, keep an eye on, ring that bell on YouTube or subscribe, and that way you will be notified the next time that I do stream. I really want to make it a priority for 2022 to start going through some of my, like, progress videos, like essentially taking a compilation of my pictures and my videos of building costumes, so you guys can actually see those. Because I do go through a lot of detail on how things are put together. So I feel like it could be really, really helpful to people. And also, it's fun to watch. It's fun to see the process of how everybody builds their stuff. A lot of my friends that are artists are doing that, and I really wish I would just spend the time doing it. So 2022 is going to be my goal, because at that point I won't have very many projects going on to just kind of sit down and learn editing more, and actually spending some time each week doing it. I'm hoping at that point too we'll also have another employee in the shop, and I'll be able to spend Mondays again at home so I can work on that time to sculpt and test out new materials and do more tutorials for the shop. There's so many tutorials I want to like show people on how to use our products. Like I have 3 tutorials recorded back before my computer died, of just how to like install mouth flappies, how to install lips, how to do padding inside of a head, you know, with our new padding that we have. And I just haven't gone around to like editing them because I honestly don't want to spend my personal time on work. This isn't work. This is fun for me. Doing the tutorials is work. That's specifically for DVC. It doesn't go on to my personal YouTube page. That goes on the Dream Vision Creations page. I get no credit for that, I guess I could say. It's for work. It's for work. It's for to help work. It's to help people who use our products.
Tell me we're on to something. Baby, don't leave me hanging. Giving you all my
As I feel about cats. I swear to God, cats get it so freaking easy. They don't have to do shit. They don't have to get trained. All they do is eat, poop, and clean themselves every day. No obligations.
How am I supposed to know?
But yeah, I'll try to make this a more consistent thing. I really do miss it. I miss talking to you guys. I miss just being able to kind of zen in the zone and working on projects. Like I said, the chat and the community are a really big motivator for me. So being able to do this is uplifting, to say. I'm getting all teary about it, sorry. It really does mean a lot. It really does. So thank you all for attending. I appreciate it more than I could ever explain. And I do hope to see you guys all again. So have a good rest of your weekend or go to bed in some cases. But see you in the next stream. Bye guys!